Smith. Yeah.
Kind of going to be the building is the head, the bird, right? You're going to be closing. You're going to be calling for it. Heads call. Heads it is. KCC wins the toss.
You won the toss, yeah? I think you said KCC on the toss.
They will bet. Okay.
TJ, I want to stay and pick a photo.
Both the, can I have the ball?
Okay, so
Or you want to do the cup first?
yes.
Yeah, do the cup photo shoot as well. Just do the cup photo shoot first. Okay, you guys got to Yeah, I have a copy of both the team sheets, Jamie's one and Elliot's one.
Both of the captains.
And welcome everybody here to this Cricket Hong Kong T20 Premier League final between KCC and HKCC here at Cox's Road, the Kowloon Cricket Club. Now play's just going to get underway in the next couple of minutes. Before we do that, we're going to just give a quick recap of the toss done a little bit earlier. Captain Jamie Atkinson tossed the coin and Captain Elliot Scribner from the Hong Kong Cricket Club won the toss and chose to bat first. We'll quickly run through the teams here and introducing my two fellow commentators for today's match, Mr. Matthew Collins, ex-captain of cricket of the KCC, and David Varley, current captain of cricket at HKCC. David, your side.
Fantastic. Great to be here, Matthew. Thank you very much to KCC for hosting. Our two opening batsmen here, Martin Kurtzia, really the star really in Hong Kong Cricket Club, but also in the Hong Kong Premier League here. Hits it as hard as really anyone in the last 10 years, probably hits it just as hard as Mark Rice or Ryan Campbell at their peak. So Martin Kurtzia will face the first ball. Nizakat, the non-striker. The three big moves for all Hong Kong Cricket Club supporters there is Charlie Wallace has come in, made a miraculous recovery from a semi-dislocated shoulder. He's been picked in for Martin Booster, but Martin Booster played every game, very unlucky to miss out. Haroon's come back in for Ayush. And also we've got a Jack Meadows has been picked in front of Nenad. So very difficult, 14 very good players. They've been able to squeeze it down to 11 with Big J got the job here. Matty Collins, what's your thoughts?
Look, with the KCC today, we've just got the one change with Rory Cox in for Sonny Bimsaria as the Namibian nightmare comes from the pavilion end.
And it's in the air, first ball cut through, point for 4. What a start here from HKCC. Opener Martin Kurtzia, who has taken all before him since arriving on the Hong Kong shores just a couple of short months ago, coming off a match-winning 80 in the last game, some runs midweek in a national Hong Kong squad intra-club game, 90 I believe of 40 balls, has looked the form player of the competition. Matt, any other changes for the KCC side this week?
No other changes, just Cox in for Sonny Bimsaria. I'll perhaps have an opportunity maybe in one of the over breaks to take you through the entire team as the Namibian nightmare comes in again for the pavilion end.
Perfect, and that one left through there by Martin Kurtzia. For those that remember in the round match when KCC took on the Hong Kong Cricket Club, it was Jay Davidson that took the prize scalp of Martin Kurtzia, very first ball of the innings, with a ball not too dissimilar to that last one, just short of a length, leaving him, and he spent it outside the off stump and nicked it through to a waiting Chris Carter. David,
I think the key with Martin, if you pitch up to him, he'll hit you over your head. That's where he wants to play. You've just got to be just short of a length and really try and tuck him up inside there. In comes Jay. Yeah, that's the spot. Well bowled, Jay. So a big shout out to Nico and Linda. Martin Kurtzia's parents are over there in Joburg watching. And for those who don't know a lot about Martin, he's played cricket for the Lions, the Cats, and the Wanderers in South Africa, and he won an African Cup with the Lions. And he actually, Matty, played pro rugby in the past before he played cricket. So he's been a huge acquisition for the Hong Kong Cricket Club. He's been a very aggressive batsman. Jay Davidson got the big job here.
as Jay comes into bowl again here to Kurtzia, and he's fallen, whipping through the leg side. There is a fieldsman out there on the deep square leg boundary, and Simandeep Singh runs around and fires it in. Just one run there. As you mentioned before, David, it's probably a little bit full there to Martin Kurtzia, where he likes them, and as we've seen in the round matches, scoring, I believe, 132 in the first match against against Pakistan Association, 80 odd in the second game. nicked up first ball in the third game against us and came back to form last week with another 80 odd not out. Certainly the key wicket here for KCC. And this one's defended down to third man for a single. Well played there by Nizakat Khan with soft hands.
So for many years, Nizakat would have been the key wicket. For those who don't know about Nizakat, he's born in Pakistan, played many years at for Little Saiwan, came across to the Hong Kong Cricket Club for 5 or 6 years, and then came back to Kowloon Cricket Club for a season, and then this season he came back to the Hong Kong Cricket Club. So he's a guy nationally contracted in the national side, hits it very hard as Jay comes into Martin. Well bowled in good areas there, not giving him too much to drive because Martin will be targeting the short boundary straight down the ground.
And just quickly, while we get an opportunity here in between overs, just to run through the Kowloon Cricket Club side. Captain today, Jamie Atkinson, the powerful top order batsman. He's been in terrific form lately, so look for him to play well today. The young superstar Ahan Trivedi, under 17 player, terrific young spinner. Azaz Khan, current national Hong Kong national captain and all-rounder. Ashley Caddy, all-rounder. Atiq Iqbal, medium pace bowler. He'll probably come on at this short pavilion end at some stage. Wicket keeper Chris Carter, probably look to come in and bat around that 5 and 6 mark. Dan Pascoe, bit of a barometer for this side, Dan. A very, very important player for the KCC. Great bowler, very tough to get away. The Namibian nightmare, Jason Davidson. Rory Cox, the silky opener, played really, really well in his last outing, although he did miss KCC's last game. Simandeep Singh, who's been in tremendous form with a bat in recent times. All-rounder Wackus Barkat. And then we have the two youngsters, the under-17s, Max Cotter and who else have we got? So we've got Parth Bhagwat, who, great to see the youngsters getting a bit of exposure to Premier League cricket. So good luck to both teams today.
Absolutely. And we're going to see current Hong Kong captain Azaz Khan open the bowling here from the KBGC end.
Yes, we can
David,
work with that.
You obviously haven't been here for the last few weeks, but we have named all of our ends here.
Very good. What does that stand for, Matthew?
KBGC is the Kowloon Bowls Greens Club, which is directly behind us, as that one's pulled behind square for 4.
That's
a
a great
fantastic shot by Nizakat Khan. Azaz Khan looking for the ball to swing away there from the right-handed batsman, but could only succeed in getting onto the hip where Nizakat is very strong. So, David, we have the poolside end, which is our sort of easterly end, I guess you would say. KBGC at the end here, we have our west side.
West side.
And we would like it pronounced as such,
Of course.
west side.
West side.
And then we have the Kowloon Clubhouse end.
Yeah, the pavilion.
The pavilion end.
Now, shout out to my wife and 2 young children. They're up there. My concern is they might run onto the ground, Matthew. So, and I might have to go and collect one of them if that were to happen. Well bowled.
And a beautiful swinging away delivery there from Azaz, who will look to swing the ball and pitch it up early doors to try and get the outside edge where KCC Jamie Atkinson skipper is standing waiting at first slip for that edge.
Absolutely.
So yeah, David, I hope your kids do stay off the field for their own safety.
Absolutely. If I'd like to stay captain of cricket for the duration, we hope that they do as well. So my wife's under very strict instructions to keep Charlie Barley and Sam Barley off the ground as Azaz comes in. All well bowled. So a little bit more on Nizakat. He, again, born in Pakistan. He made 104 not out off 63 balls, Matty, against the Sydney Thunder, which is pretty impressive. Favourite movie, Titanic. Some of us have a similar favourite movie there. And when I asked him his favourite shot, he loves hitting straight over the bowler's head. So hopefully we'll see a little bit of that today from Nizakat Khan. And also a shout out to him and his family. He's got 2 lovely daughters, which he's had in the last few years, him and his wife.
Well, who's not a Titanic and Leonardo DiCaprio fan, David? I would like to say. As he's playing and missing again there out of stump, a fantastic first over here after that slightly astray first ball from Azaz. He's come back beautifully and ball swinging away and had Nizakat just fending outside the off stump, Matthew.
Yeah, look, this is a crucial period in the game. I think both the power plays of both clubs very, very important today. Obviously, Hong Kong Cricket Club winning the toss. They're going to be looking to sort of hopefully get around that 50-60 mark off this power play with very few wickets down. Obviously, the Kowloon Cricket Club, they're going to be looking to take some wickets and try and put the screws on. So it'll be fascinating to see how that plays out, Matt.
Absolutely, as Azaz comes in again and he's leaving outside the off stump. I think head coach Trent Johnston, actually in his preview for the game, mentioned this game might be won and lost in the power play depending on how both sides go. So last week we saw KCC come up against Pakistan Association, and both teams actually struggling in the power play. But KCC, led by Simandeep Singh with a fantastic 65, were able to post a competitive score of about 134, I believe, last week, and that was enough to get them the victory. So interesting to see how both teams attack the power play today.
And just another, there's a wide ball there from Azaz. Just another thing as well, this is a brand new centre wicket block we have here at the KCC, and this particular wicket has not been in use so far this season. What we've seen in some of the preliminary games is the ball keeping quite low. However, just on observation yesterday's Saturday League game here, the bounce was fairly true. Ball sliding onto the bat quite well, and therefore I sort of think that scoring, might be a little higher than we're accustomed to. Maybe I think sort of that 160 mark's kind of where you need to be.
As Azaz comes in, and Nizakat's hitting towards backward point there for no run to bring it into the second over here. The score's moved on to none for 11.
Very good. So big shout out to the umpires, Ian Thompson and John Prakash. Very, very important, very experienced umpires out there today. So we thank them very, very much. So Matty and Matt, in terms of who from Hong Kong Cricket Club is the key player from a KCC perspective, who's the one that you think is the big danger, and who would you think from Kowloon Cricket Club is the key player?
Yeah, so David, I was asked this question earlier today actually, and I think we've mentioned previously Martin Kutzea at the top of the order has been very damaging throughout the round stages, scoring nearly close to 300 runs at a strike rate of in excess of 150. Nizakat Khan over the years has been one to look for. Kinshit Shah, vice captain of the Hong Kong side, another very dangerous batsman, as the Namibian Nightmare comes in and bowls short, and that's cutting over the slips. That's edged over the slips for 4, and the big Namibian Nightmare has taken a tumble, and let's hope he's okay. He has had some injury concerns.
About those injuries, I think he showed a lot of courage to play this year. He's one of the nicest guys in Hong Kong cricket, always gets on well with the opposition, plays with a smile on his face. Can you tell us a little bit about his injuries? I understand he's had 4 ACLs, is something like that?
Yeah, he's also from he's from Namibia originally, but played a bit of rugby in South Africa, and from understanding had a few knee injuries as a young fella playing rugby, and they've sort of got a little bit worse as he's got older and continued to bowl. So fingers crossed he's going to be able to get through, well, at least 3 or 4 more seasons for us here at KCC, and him personally, as that one is steered down to third man for just a single.
Bowling with a knee brace on still.
So we call him the Bionic Man.
Okay.
So he has every bit of hardware you can imagine strapped to his legs, ankles, knees and toes, David.
And a fearsome moustache as well. Is that for Movember or?
Look, I think raising some money for charity is the big fella. He calls it the we went into detail about it last week. It's called the Worm.
Sober's the Slug.
Sober's the Slug.
Sober's the
I
Slug.
believe
Very
that's
nice.
That's what he has touted his own moustache as. So he'll come into bowl here to Nizakat Khan, who is working into the leg side there for just a single. So look, a pretty even start here, and David, you asked earlier about the damaging players on the KCC side. I think where the two teams have differed a little bit this year, it's been a very consistent performers across the board for KCC. We've seen Azaz Khan open up and make 81 not out against HKCC in the round stages and guide them home to victory there. Simandeep Singh stepped up for a 65 last week, won us the game there. Rory Cox against Pakistan Association made a brilliant 58. Looks stylish doing it. Jamie Atkinson batting at number 3 has got some quick 40s. So as Jay comes in, and that's one's cut directly to point for no run. KCC have really not relied on 1 or 2 players to win their sort of round matches. And as we know, KCC has gone through undefeated throughout the season. So I guess as a team, KCC are looking to sort of everyone to contribute with the ball. We've probably KCC have relied on Jay Davidson up front to take those early wickets. Dan Pascoe then will generally probably come on and bowl the next over, as he has done, bowling in the power play. And then Wakas Barkar, the leg spinner, and young Arhan Trivedi have done the job, as that one scooted through a little bit low and just missed the off stump. Both batsman and bowler come together in the middle and have a bit of a chat about what happened there, Dave.
It seems the ball is keeping a little bit low, Matt. Say a little bit low. That's will be interesting whether it will get low as we go along. From a Hong Kong Cricket Club perspective, it's a wonderful side here at KCC. Very successful across 20 over cricket, 50 over cricket, and 2-day cricket for really probably the last 5 years. A lot of titles, a lot of cups. The three guys I'm the three guys we're looking at here from KCC's perspective: Dan Pascoe, the left-arm orthodox, very talented bowls in very good areas, hard to get away. He's always he's fielding just here at mid-off here as Jay runs in. So Dan's always a real hand.
And that's high.
Free hit. It's a free hit.
Going all the
Free
way.
hit.
Oh, it's a free hit here, there. So
And that was a free hit for those just listening. The previous ball obviously overstepping, and Martin Coetzee, a free hit, will get 2 runs for that, David.
yes, and well fielded by Ash Caddy, who would be the second one. Now you might find that surprising that Hong Kong Cricket Club would rate Ash Caddy so highly, but for us, he's just a wonderful competitor. He runs in hard. He's got a bit of a Mervyn Hughes about him. He's got a big body. He runs in hard. Fearsome competitor. Hits the ball hard as well. So he's always one who's up and about, and he's been known to carry the KCC side. Oh no!
And this is
got
up in the air.
Huge
This is up high, and Wakas Barkar will not drop that. And Martin Coetzee goes the big wicket for KCC early here. Jay Davidson hitting that back of a length, finding the leading edge of Martin Coetzee, who spooned it up to point. A big wicket here. The score 1 for 20. Martin Coetzee has gone for 12.
Looked like just a slightly change of pace there from Jay, maybe a slightly slower one, and just seemed to get through it a little bit early.
Yeah, look, we talked to him in the pre-game and in the first few overs here. Martin Coetzee likes the ball full. He likes to go straight down the ground. Unfortunately, that one either just holding up in the wicket with a change of pace, or just back of a length, not coming through in the way he thought, and he could only succeed in chipping it up to awaiting Wakas Barkar at cover. David.
What I think wonderful bowling from Jay there. He there's no question that Martin Coetzee could see the short straight boundary. He gave him nothing full to hit, and he finally gave him the full one. It was a slightly slower one. He rolled his fingers across it. Martin tried to hit it across the line, and he got the huge wicket. Well done, Jay Davidson.
And I'll introduce our third special comments commentator today. Is going to be James Chan. James, some special comments from you on Jay Davidson.
Just a little note, Jay Davidson is the only man to have gotten out Martin Coetzee in this tournament twice. First time a golden duck, and on this time very early on. So
Thank you, James. James will be chipping in throughout the day with some wise and hopefully some weird comments.
being English, yes.
He is our only Englishman on the commentary panel today. So look, that brings Vice Captain Kinshit Shah to the crease. He's been in very good form this year. Got some runs last week, I guess against USRC, 50 odd I believe in the win against them. He'll take strike here to Azaz Khan, who will try and swing the ball in and try and trap him in front, David.
Absolutely. Big work. It's Jay just down near the commentary box. He'll be very, very happy with himself, the Namibian Nightmare. He's done the job early, got the big wicket with Azaz, the captain of the Hong Kong side, coming in, bowling to his vice captain. That doesn't happen every day, does it? So Kinshit, again, another player used to play at Kowloon Cricket Club, came across, we won't say for the reasons, who's to say, but he's come across here to Hong Kong Cricket Club. And he'll be facing his good friend and captain in Azaz Khan. He's a guy who likes to get his head down early. Doesn't like to hit the big shots. That's probably really down to Martin Coetzee and Nizakat. Do you think Jay will get a third over here? Matt, what's your thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, look, he has bowled 3 in the power play previously. The plan actually in previous games has been Dan Pascoe would come on and bowl this 4th over. But Azaz bowling a very good first over there, swinging the ball away from Nizakat, nearly finding the edge a few times. I think Jamie Atkinson has captained brilliantly throughout this tournament and has called upon his bowlers at the right times and also the right bowlers. Not very often you see a kid like Ahan Trivedi take 5 wickets in the first 2 games and not get a bowl in the second 2 games. So obviously looking at who's going to do the job for him against the certain bowlers, certain batsmen, and at what time of the game. So going to be very interesting to see, David.
So he's done a great job, Jamie Atkinson, and that's definitely Ahan Trivedi. I think I was calling him Ahan Trivali last time, a famous fish down there in Australia. We'll make sure we get the name correct there for Ahan Trivedi. He's a wonderful young off spinner. We're looking forward to seeing him play. I know Martin Coetzee was very much looking forward to facing him, but he won't be having that opportunity today as Big Jay Davidson, the Namibian Nightmare, has picked him up. The big fella is as happy as Larry down here at third man. Ball definitely Matt Collins staying a little bit low. It's not really coming through a lot.
Yeah, I mean, look, it certainly did in yesterday's game. I'd say it's not as low as other tracks we've had here earlier in the piece. I do think it's coming on a little better. As mentioned earlier, this is a new centre wicket block here at the KCC as Azaz comes in. it's a big shout, but even from our vantage here, it did look like it was going down leg side. Yes, a new centre wicket block here, and after many years of a surplus of clay here in Hong Kong, we did incur a bit of a shortage, and we had to import some from Thailand. That typically is the best clay model that we can possibly get here in Asia, and it just seems to be starting to, with a bit more rolling, it's just starting to settle down a little bit more. The wickets that we've had earlier in the year kept much lower than what we're seeing here today. So they'll probably take a good season to bet in, and a big shout out to our good friends at Clay.net who've been incredible over the journey.
Yeah. Please look up Clay.net for all your clay related needs. As Azaz comes in here again to bolt in Azar Khan. And that one's whipped away to short fine leg, a hunter of Eddie Fielding for no run. Matt, just behind the spectators, and I want to make a shout out to the KCC General Committee and the club management for putting on a fantastic event today. We can see all the way around the ground, there's marquees set up for spectators to come in and watch the game from the Hong Kong Cricket Club and from just outsiders. The captain of cricket of KCC, Mr. Roy Lamsam, is hosting a function up on the top pavilion for some government officials, and best of luck to them up there. I hope they enjoy the day. This one's nudged into the leg side for an easy single. Azar's just getting a little bit straight there, and yeah. So obviously with the current climate and pandemic that's affecting all of us here around Hong Kong and the world, we're thankful to be able to have a beautiful November's day like this without a cloud in the sky. The sun's turned out for us today, and you can probably see on your screens it's absolutely fantastic. And the spectators, we might have I'd say between 100 and 200 people here today, across from the balcony to the astronets and the swimming pool pavilion.
And the big question, Matty, of course, is with those sort of numbers, I think the Mexican wave could be on the cards.
Well, we've seen it before, Matty. And that one's beautifully flayed through the offside, but directly to cover for no run, and that'll bring it into the fourth over. The score's moved on to 1 for 22. David.
So for those down in Chim Cha Choi or at the Hong Kong Cricket Club or Mission Road, get yourself down here to KCC. There's still room. There's still streaming in here to KCC. Obviously, making sure all the social distancing and the tracking is taking place, and hand sanitizers. Don't worry about that. They do a good job here at KCC. With Jay Davidson, he will bowl the third over. I think he deserves another over after he got the big wicket of Martin Coetzee.
Yeah, no surprises there. No surprises. He's pretty well bowled three up front in all the games.
Yeah, look, he's we talked about his bionic appendages. So getting three out of the way early doors is always a good thing for him.
Can he come back after three, mate? Will he be able to bowl his fourth? What's your thoughts on
that?
Well,
he needs a bit of time in between, the big fella. A couple of drinks on the fine leg boundary, a little bit of grazing going on down in front of us could be required for him to come back for his fourth. So yeah, look, Jamie Atkinson understanding that point and understanding his bowler very well, giving him a third one here to try and get another breakthrough for KCC in the power play. That one's whipped away to backward square for a single.
Matt, with the ball staying a little bit low, what's a good score here for Hong Kong Cricket Club?
Well, we spoke about this. We spoke about this prior to coming on air, actually, and look, last week on a used wicket, 134 was a very good score. It was a bit above par. Now, I think looking at the game yesterday, even though it is a little bit slower, with the shorter boundary this to the pavilion end,
on the west side,
and then you got the west side, where the spectators are watching and waiting for a catch over that side. I think around about that 140 to 150 is the score HKCC are going to want to post to be competitive this year. Exactly, yeah. So 140, you're in the game, finals cricket, pressure on, second innings chasing, runs on the board, as they say, Matty.
Yeah, I tend to think a few more, Matty. I think sort of that 150, 160 mark, I think is more like par. This wicket's definitely playing better than some of the other wickets we've already used in the preliminary rounds, and I think for the most part the ball's coming on pretty well.
There we go. Jay doing a wonderful job here, absolutely wonderful job. Bowling well. Kinchit just struggling to get off the mark there. Izakat's been unusually conservative. Normally he's much more aggressive there, and we give a big shout out to Trent Johnson, who's along here, the national coach. He's watching all these players. Oh, he's nicked that onto the pad. So Trent will be keeping a close eye on him. We'll give you a little bit more information about the background of Trent Johnson and where he came from a little bit later. Is Jay Davidson doing a good job here, Matty?
Absolutely, David. Trent's been stats guru. We cross to him whenever we need stats-related needs filled. So I'm sure we'll be hearing from him after the end of this power play. Usually chimes in with a couple of absolute beauts at the end of the power play period. So stay tuned for that next. And whilst we don't have another Premier League game on the go today, we will be doing a cross to around the grounds in Hong Kong to a couple of the junior matches.
I want to mix up here.
And he's missed Oh, and we've nearly got some over. Oh, that was all happening there. We had Simandeep Singh at cover.
A direct hit had him gone, Matty.
Oh, he was gone cold. He'd been completely sold up the river there by Kinchit, who looked to hit it directly to cover and take off. Nizakat Khan at the other end got halfway and got told, no sir, not today. Turn around. Couldn't make it back, but unfortunately Simandeep couldn't hit.
No, and look, these are the sorts of half chances you've got to take in big games, Matty.
Absolutely, as the Namibian Nightmare comes in again to bowl here to Kinchit Shah, and he's flashing outside off stump.
Just desperate to get off the mark, isn't he, Matty? Just to break the shackles. Probably love a boundary here, just to get going. A guy who, him and his brother Ninad used to play here at KCC, came across in the last couple of years. Ninad very unlucky to miss out today. To be very disappointed. He's been batting well in Sunday in the 2020. Just on balance of selection, balance of probabilities. He missed out, but he'll be supporting hard and his team and his brother as Jay Davidson comes in from the club stand end. Well played. Doesn't get the single away. Very well bowled. The Namibian Nightmare's been right on the mark, Matty, hasn't he?
Look, he's been the form fast bowler of the competition, I think you'd say, throughout the round matches. As that brings an end to the fifth over, the score is a 1 for 23. Yeah, look, Jay's taken some wickets. He's been miserly in the power play. He hits that very, very awkward back of the length. You know, being a very tall guy, being 6'3", 6'4" in the old, hits that back of a length, and he's been very difficult to try and hit straight, and that's where the value runs are here at the KCC Pavilion end.
Yeah, and for those that don't know the KCC ground very well, this pavilion end is considerably shorter than the bowling green end, so it's quite a responsibility for the quicks to bowl from the end that the Namibian Nightmare takes on, and really the only way to attack it is that short of a length area, because as soon as you put the ball up full, look, to be honest, even miss hits would go for 6. So he's really taken that on board, not just today, but in all the preliminary rounds as well.
Absolutely, and we are going to see a change of bowling here. Azaz Khan is going to be replaced by Ashley Caddy, who David mentioned in his build-up about being one of the more feared and dangerous players in the KCC side. He's been a performer here for KCC over the last 8 to 9 years. Winning multiple Sunday KCC Templar titles as captain. Left arm bowler, been training with the national squad, playing in the warm-up games. Bowls a heavy ball, hits back of a length as well, tries not to get too full, and has been very effective. I know national coach Trent Johnson has been looking at him very closely for potentially some higher honours, David.
Well, he's just a wonderful competitor, Matt. He just runs in hard, he'll get in your face. And he won't stop trying, the big fella. Definitely got that bit of Mervyn Hughes about him. Even though he bowls left arm over the wicket as he comes into Nizakat here. Goes over the top. And
that's a no ball as well. So a free hit here to the Hong Kong Cricket Club. Not a great start there from Caddy.
Well, inexcusable really there from Caddy. A bowler of his pace doesn't need to be getting that close to the line, David.
No, I must admit I've faced him a few times, mate. I've always struggled. Thought he nicked me off in a Sunday game as Jamie Atkinson said some choice words to me when he was given not out, but which are the only choice words Jamie said to me in 10 years, I must say. I don't think Jamie's actually mentioned one word on the cricket pitch for 10 years. He's a quiet lad, isn't he, Matty?
Well, I'm sure it was all in good humour there, David. But I do remember that, and I felt from first slip you might have got a little bit of bat on it though, but
definitely a noise. But you always got to respect the umpire's decision, Matthew.
Absolutely, I don't walk either, David.
No,
as Caddy will come in there. Obviously, as the viewers around the world would know, when the batsman change ends on a no ball, the captain can change the field. So we will be seeing a change of field with the deep point going back down the professional Pascoe. The professor, I should say.
He is the pro, isn't he?
He is the
Works
pro.
very hard on his game. Incredible bowler, miserly bowler.
Looking forward to seeing him in action, most likely in the next over or two. So Caddy comes in for a free hit, and he's been smashed here over.
Gone.
That is gone onto Cox's Road. That is gone. I'll be surprised if that has not hit a taxi on the way through there, David. That's on the road, mate.
Matty, in all seriousness, I think it's gone even further down to our good friends at Funky Monkey down the bar and grill down there. Hopefully their happy hour has not been disturbed.
Well, a shout out to the Funky Monkey crew, Deepeng there, and all the guys who always look after the KCC members. at any hour of the day, Matt. Usually the early ones.
Yes, indeed, Matty.
This is like at the punt road end when they used to kick goals over the side screen.
Yes,
And the boys would wait behind, grab the Sherwin football and run off. I wonder if there's someone Cox Road got a lovely Kookaburra white ball. Probably get it signed by Jay Davidson in the movie A Nightmare After the Game. He's a star, the young fella. He's bowled beautifully. But Kinchich couldn't get off the mark, got the free hit. The Mervyn Hughes, Ash Caddy, he's let himself down here. He's better than that, but he's one of those guys who'll strike back hard, Matty Collins.
Yeah, look, indeed, he won't be happy with the start. And look, with Kinchit, I think it really just releases a bit of pressure for him. Nothing better than a free hit to get your innings underway. So hopefully for him, that gives him the impetus to get going here.
And as we have a little break and play, there's a young Lukey Voice, captain of the Witherers, is hosting a Thanksgiving party. We send a shout out to him with his friends and a bunch of Americans. Alex Nash, we'll talk a bit about Nash. He's definitely one to watch this season. Maxie, he's there. Tommy Ingram, he'll be in commentary a little bit later. He's coming along about the 12th or 13th over, and he'll tell you a little about his unfortunate knee injury. Adam Reese, and so a few of the lads they're watching on the live stream there. They love their cricket. Unfortunately, Matt, they lost after a wonderful 70-odd by you yesterday, I believe.
Oh, thanks, David. I was waiting for you to bring that up, actually. So we'll definitely talk more about that when we've got a bit more time. But Ashley Caddy looking to strike back here. Gets wider outside the off stump, but playing miss there. Not called wide by umpire Ian Thompson. Yeah, look, good game of cricket at the Hong Kong Cricket Club yesterday. Played against the Crusaders, played against the Hong Kong Cricket Club Witherers, who batted first and made a competitive 145, and KCC in reply were 3 for 5.
Was that Ayush doing the job? Ayush Shukla.
Ayush Shukla bowled a very, very fiery first spell, and you had to be a pretty good player to see out that spell. As Ashley's wide outside of stump, and this time called wide by Aaron Thompson. Look, myself and captain of the Crusaders, Tommy Heisinger, managed to sort of dig in and get the boys over the line for a sort of 5-wicket victory towards the end there. So yeah, good to get some runs, David.
You batted beautifully, Matt. Definitely won the game for your KCC Crusaders as Ash Caddy comes into Kinchit Shah here. Well bowled right on the spot.
And that's where he needs to be. He's been a little bit short and wide in this over, and he's got to bring it back to that sort of line and length. So
a little bit of Ayush, he's in the squad today. Played last game, just missed out today as Haroon came back, and he loves the Hangover 2 movies. Loves the Hangover movies. His favourite song's the Party Rock Anthem. Loves drinking a Coke Zero, and he told me that he reckons he's got me in his pocket because he nicked me off in the nets once, which is a bit of a stretch, isn't it, Matthew?
Well, I can tell you right now, the young fella's got a little bit of pluck about him. There was a few words mentioned yesterday. A lot of it didn't make sense, if I'm really honest, but it was certainly good fun to be involved in a contest like that, and it's great to see a young kid at, what would he be, 18 or 19 years of age, I believe.
Yeah, 18 or 19. He was bowling gas yesterday, wasn't he, man? He knocked over Roy Lamson. That's pretty difficult to get through his defences.
Yeah, little shout out to Roy, actually. I mean, for those that know Roy, he's never out, and even yesterday he looked at and saw his off stump cartwheeling back, nearly killing the keeper, and thought he wasn't out. So very fiery spell. But that one's brilliantly fielded there by Dan Pascoe in the point region as Kinchit Shah cut away there. So yeah, look, he certainly got a little bit about him, and he was a wholehearted try yesterday, and did a very good job earlier, but unfortunately I think the other bowlers probably not as effective yesterday, and certainly KCC were on the better end of the toss, winning the toss and bowling first, and the wicket flattened out towards the in the second innings, I should say. Ooh. And that one's next, and it looked like it bounced just short of keeper Chris Carter there.
Matthew, definitely some variable bounce here.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like an easy batting wicket if you're pitching just short of a length.
I think that was a slower ball though too.
Was it a slower ball, you think?
Yeah, I think he just rolled his fingers across that one.
Yeah, and look, maybe the inside edge there took a little bit of pace off it, and just bounced in front of keeper Carter there, and just a bit of another talk about Chris Carter here. He is sporting the towel again.
It's quite controversial. Maybe.
I mean,
very controversial.
We've spoken about the towel in the back of the pants. Set up as that one's whipped away to deep backward square for just a single. Yeah, look, we've spoken about Chris the Circuit Carter, with the towel out the back.
How does he go on the circuit, Matty?
Well, if you listen to him, he does pretty well, but he's certainly out there a lot. He's an experienced campaigner on the circuit, I'll give him that. But yeah, just some question marks on the functionality of the towel that hangs out of the back, given he is wearing keeping gloves.
Yes.
It is unnecessary, Matty.
And look, we have had a chat with him after a couple of games, and he has actually confirmed that it is purely for aesthetics. He thinks it looks quite cool. So
Now, getting back to the game at hand
Yes.
here, look, that's the conclusion of the power play, Matty, and Hong Kong Cricket Club 1 for 34. Guys, how do you see things being placed?
yeah, so I've got some stats here from our stats guru Trent Johnston, who's let us know that this is Hong Kong Cricket Club's worst power play so far for the tournament. They've had 3 boundaries and 1 6 with 23 dot balls. 3 wides and 2 no balls by the KCC guys. So we actually saw this last week in the game, Pakistan, where they actually scored a fair few boundaries, but very few singles and rotating the strike beyond that. So certainly a key in this power play with the score at 1 for 34. So interesting to see a change of bowling here.
Yes,
Atiq Iqbal ul Rahman. Matthew,
Yes, indeed.
What can you tell us about Iqbal?
Look, he's right medium pace bowler. He'll look to take the ball away from the left-hander, so he'll just sort of nag outside that off stump line, and yeah, it can be very difficult to get away at times. So let's see how he goes.
Absolutely, as Atiq comes in here to bowl to to Kinshit, who's just defending into the offside. Guys, while I've got a second, I just want to take this time to thank our sponsors of the Cricket Hong Kong Premier League. It's Green Incorporated. So for all those in Hong Kong and abroad, any of your clothing and kit equipment supply requirements, please visit our friends Green Incorporated. Their contact details will be up on the screen throughout the broadcast, I hope. As Atiq comes into bowl here again, and that one's also defended towards cover. And while I'm on that, guys, just want to pay homage to Anoop Gidwani, who's the anti-corruption officer working today's match for Cricket Hong Kong, wanting to say that he is monitoring the crowd and all spectators, and we here at Cricket Hong Kong take any sort of illegal activity with regards to betting extremely seriously, and action will be taken if anything is done in that regard. Matthew?
Yes, indeed. And look, we've had a great start here from the over from Atiq. Just bowls that nibbly sort of line out there outside off stump. Very tough to get away. So, you know, really, I think these boys batting really need to look to try and nudge some singles around and rotate the strike. Don't let Atiq dictate terms to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Atiq started very well here, and we've seen in the previous few matches he bowls very well, bowls it into the wicket, rolls his fingers across, and this one's hit high. That's 6. That is gone. That's on the sun lawn. That's the sun lawn over the KCC Pavilion. A beautiful strike by Kinshit Shah.
So I'm not sure how many dot balls he's faced. I'm sure Trent Johnson will be sending that across shortly, but he's hit 2 6s a single, and basically that's it. He's really struggled with his timing. I'm not sure if that's the batter, is that the good bowling, or perhaps the up and down, the 2-paced wicket. Very important shot there by Kinshit. And as we look straight across the ground, we see the Professor Pascoe. He's warmed up there. He's one of the great competitors of Kowloon Cricket Club, one of the great competitors of the Premier League here in Hong Kong, and he'll be coming on soon, I think, from the other end. All well bowled.
Very well bowled, yeah. Very well bowled. You can see he just ran his fingers across a little off cutter or a leg cutter there that held up in the wicket, and took Kinshit on the gloves for a single towards third man. Now, that's not the end of the over, but yeah, look, Dan Pascoe obviously sporting the towel as well. Seems to be a very fashionable thing for the KCC lads at the moment to be sporting the towel. But
Matt, if I could ask you a question, you've got a wonderful 11 here. Who are the guys who are perhaps unlucky to be missing from this side? Who are the next 3 or 4 players to come in, or who do you see as some players for the future for Kowloon?
yeah, so we've seen Sonny Bimsaria played in the last match. Rory Cox obviously came back in for this final, but Sonny got an opportunity last week. Unfortunately, didn't take full advantage of that opportunity. We've seen Devang Balsara, who's been around the squad. I think he played in the first match of the year. And then you got the younger guys. You got the under-17 guys like Jaden Botfield, Max Cotter, Parth Bhagwan, who are up-and-coming superstars for the club. Have been sitting as that sort of 12th and 13th man to give them some exposure on what it takes to be a Premier League player, David. So, look, the future's bright here at KCC, and it's fantastic to see those kids stepping up. And this one's hit. Looks like it's going to be 6, and it's just carried over our head here at the commentary box for a 6 to Nazakit Khan. A beautiful shot over cover.
Wonderful shot. He needed to get going. I don't think Nizakat Khan's been 9 off after 6 overs in his whole life, so he's been very conservative, really having a look, getting a feel for the wicket, hit a good shot. So in terms of the guys who are missed out, we talked about Neenad, very unlucky. Martin Booster, incredibly unlucky, played every game. It was a controversial choice, but they went with Charlie Wallace, who's coming back from injury, so it'll be very interesting to see how Charlie goes. Ayush is around the mark there. Rahul Sharma, a young kid coming through. And some other guys to keep an eye out for. Ben Zanel hasn't made himself available for the Premier League this year. He's a wonderful player. And we'll come back to Ben in a second. But he's scored a lot of runs. He's having a baby soon. I wish him and his missus very well. Player to look out for is Alex Nash, probably one of arguably the classiest batsmen at the Hong Kong Cricket Club. We haven't seen much of him in the last 2 years due to his very bad knee injury, but he's definitely going to be out up and about. And him and his wife just had a baby a week or so ago. Gemma, the sleep consultant, sent a big shout out to Gemma and Nashi and their young baby. Wish them all the best. Another one to look out for is Brett Long, who's got a great record against Rory Cox. Stewie Tohill, I'd like to ask your opinion a little bit about Stewie. And another one is Jahatha Subramanian, a wonderful, very talented leg spinner. Can also bowl left arm orthodox. He's not playing because he's trying to play professional cricket in India. So there's some of the Hong Kong Cricket Club players coming out as Dan Pascoe, the professor, comes in.
Yeah, Dan Pascoe here from the KBGC end, firing one in there. Kinchett knocking it down to long on for a single. Yeah, look, just on Benny Zanol, I played against him yesterday for the Witherers, and he did mention he's made himself unavailable for the Premier League. He was hoping to make it down today, but when his wife found out that he had the Sundays free, she quickly booked them up, David. So I think he's off doing some Christmas tree shopping today, from what I understand. So
well, he's probably been one of the best performed Premier League players at Hong Kong Cricket Club in the last few years, and dropped down to Saturday League, and he found Saturday League a bit tough, Matt. It's a couple of ducks in a row, I understand.
He had a second ball duck yesterday. Yeah, he was out to 51-year-old Matthew Chappell bowling some hand grenades. So fantastic effort there by Chaps to get a player of Ben Zanol's ability out. So
he'll strike back, but I think definitely in the 50 overs in the 2 days, you'll be looking at Alex Nash. You'll be looking at Brett Long. Brett Long's been in terrific form. As we see. Tom Ingram, we'll have him on a little bit later in the commentary. Another guy who's missed out on this 2020. He was right in the mix before he damaged his knee badly, which is very disappointing. And I'm sure we'll hear more about that when he comes into commentary about the 12th or 13th over.
As Dan comes into bowl again, and that one's cut behind point towards Rory Cox at deep point, who cleans up and keeps it to just a single. Very tidy start here by Dan Pascoe, who's been ultra effective actually throughout the power plays throughout the tournament, but today not required, with Ashley Caddy being taken ahead of him in the power plays. But Dan Pascoe will look to sort of bowl and change his pace, bowls a beautiful sort of slower pace, and then has that quicker arm ball. That one looks like that one was the quicker one, as it's knocked into cover for a single by Nizakat Khan. David, you asked me about Stewie Tohill.
Tell me about Stewie Tohill.
Stewie Tohill, one of the most difficult bowlers to face. Look, I reckon he'd bowl, at a guess, 60 to 65 kilometres an hour, and that's probably on the upper end, but just comes in off a few steps, bowls that little left arm into the wicket, and is exceedingly difficult to get away, as that one's cut out to deep point again for a single. Yeah, look, he doesn't give you anything. He's one of those bowlers you really need to take a risk to try and take him down, and when you take a risk, it brings him into the game. So look, I'm on Stewie Tohill's list personally. I know there's a lot of players around Hong Kong that are as well, David.
He's for those who don't know Stewie, he's about a 5'6", 50-year-old New Zealander who bowls off 3 or 4 steps on a Saturday League cricket, and has absolutely dominated the league for 6 or 7 years. Heaps of wickets, goes for no runs, bats about 5 or 6, and does very well. I've got actually a few Stewie Tohill facts here, Matthew, if I could let you know. Stewie Tohill's been able to dribble about a bowling ball. That's one fact we got on Stewie Tohill. About a couple of years ago, a cobra bit Stewie Tohill's leg, and after 5 days of excruciating pain, the cobra died. A couple of facts there about Stewie Tohill, and that he can sneeze with his eyes open. So the man on and off the field can pretty much do anything, and I think he's another guy who might be a chance in the 50-over Premier League and also the 2-dayer. But he's had a wonderful record, Stewie.
A little bit of Chuck Norris about that.
There was a bit of Chuck Norris, didn't it?
That's the impression I got. So that's the end of the end of the 7th over. The scores moved on to 1 for 53. A very good partnership developing here for HKCC, with experienced batsmen Kinchett Shah and Kinchett Shah and Nizakat Khan righting the ship. So look, run rate of about 6.5 and over, I'm going to take a guess just without looking at it there, David. Azaz Khan going to start again here from the pavilion end. Will they look to take a chance here, Matty, against Azaz?
Well, look, I certainly think that they should. It's a particularly short boundary down here, so anything that's in their wheelhouse, anything that's full, they should be looking to get the maximum here. So really crucial point of the game here. After KCC managed to get the early wicket of Martin Coetzee, these two have really started to form a good partnership. So really crucial moment in the game.
As Azaz comes in here to bowl, and he's full, and he's hitting for 6 here, Nazaket. He's gone big. That's gone up on top of the pavilion here for a massive 6 runs. Exactly what we were talking about. When the ball's full, Nazaket Khan's going to just not hold back and try and hit as straight as possible. David.
Can I, Azaz Khan, he's been a wonderful player, was a fast bowler, lower order batsman who's turned himself into a fantastic top order batsman. It's a very hard, got a wonderful 80 odd against Hong Kong Cricket Club to win win the game off his own bat in the round robin. Would his bowling have come down a couple of kilometres over the last couple of years? Is he as fast as he once was, Matty?
Yeah, we've seen some stuff from him in the internationals when he's been coming in and bowling, and we can see him on the speed gun, and he's probably getting him through early 130s. I'd say early to mid 130s, which is quick enough. Certainly his batting has improved over the last few years. Look, he bats at the top of the order in the T20s, but in the 50 over stuff he likes to come in the middle order. So he likes to sort of do the job there for KCC wherever is required. But look, he's been an outstanding performer. I believe in the round match he bowled a pretty poor last over. I believe. I think there's a few no balls.
I think he was carrying an injury.
I
remember he's been bowling a little bit in himself.
I remember talking about that. There's been some Hong Kong national sort of warm-up games during the week where they've been playing intra-squad sort of T20s, and he actually hasn't been bowling in those. So potentially trying to keep himself fresh for these weekend games. But obviously by not bowling, you're keeping yourself fresh, but potentially not as consistent. Due to the number of balls he's actually been bowling in training and matches. So interesting to see if he pulls his length back here. And looks like that was a change of pace there again. Looks like a little off-cutter into the pads and nudged into the leg side for a single. David, just want to ask you about the Hong Kong Cricket Club. I know you've got some Chinese initiatives in terms of your junior and senior stuff. What's going on there?
Absolutely. As we Hong Kong Cricket Club as well as Kowloon Cricket Club got love to and got a big responsibility to spread the word and build the game here in Hong Kong and into China. We know Kowloon Cricket Club do a wonderful job of that, and we had the women's game just before, played in the morning, just before this 2020 game, whereas they run through there well bowled Azaz. So over the last 12-14 months, the chairman James Callow, he set the agenda and said we need to start building more of our Chinese, Cantonese local cricket team, and so we've been able to build about 45-50 Hong Kong Chinese Cantonese speaking cricketers under being coached by head coach Ryan Buckley, Luke Jones, Adil Mahmood, and with huge help from Jake McCauley and a bunch of the guys, and especially AD Lee. AD Lee's been a terrific ambassador there for Chinese cricketers as ours comes into bowl there. Well bowled. So we've got 45 guys, and we've now got a team called Kowloon in Cantonese, or Qilin in Mandarin. They're playing in the Challenger League, and they're very keen. About 17 of them are joining the Hong Kong Cricket Club as sporting members over the next month, and I think we'll have 2 sides within the next year as well. They're as keen as mustard. They're training hard. They train every Friday night, and we do send a shout out to all the Hong Kong Chinese Cantonese cricketers. If you want to come down and have a go, come to Kowloon Cricket Club or come to Hong Kong Cricket Club, and I'm sure we'd be keen to, he pulls that across there, we'd be very keen to see and develop more Chinese cricketers. So we're very excited about Kowloon and our Chinese side. A bunch of them have come down to watch the game today, because we'd like to develop more Chinese cricketers, Cantonese speakers here in Hong Kong, and hopefully in about 5 years' time, a bunch of them will be in the national team. That would be ideal, Matthew.
Yeah, absolutely, a fantastic initiative there by the Hong Kong Cricket Club. So if you're interested in playing cricket and you don't know much about it, contact the Kowloon Cricket Club or Hong Kong Cricket Club for more information.
Well, this
might be close. Well, that looks like it's out, and it's out. A fantastic bit of keeping there by Chris Carter.
One-handed.
Atiq Iqbal at short fine leg picked up and inexplicably tried to throw the stumps down when Kinchit was struggling, but Chris Carter picked it up, a one-handed pickup on the bounce, and took off the barrels to find Kinchit Shah just short as he had fallen over mid-pitch David.
Can I ask, do you think the towel behind his back, do you think it helped? Because it was a wonderful piece of keeping just to grab that, because he had a shot at the stumps. It was a wonderful hands, Matthew.
I'm sure he'll be talking up the towel's influence over that particular play there, David.
Is it a towel? Was it a cape? It looked like a cape as he came out there. A bit of Superman on him, Matthew.
Yeah, look, it was a fantastic bit of keeping there by Chris Carter. He's come back into the side over the last 3 or 4 Premier League matches. Obviously a pilot, so his availability is sometimes a little bit checkered. But look, on that bit of keeping, he should be in the side, and a fantastic effort as we see Luke Jones, left-handed Hong Kong Cricket Club coach, come out to bat at number 4. Now, we remember from the round match when HKCC played KCC, HKCC were in all sorts of bother, and Luke Jones and Ryan Buckley, both coaches of Hong Kong Cricket Club, came in and smashed it towards the end to put up a very competitive 140 odd for HKCC. So with that, looks like skipper Elliot Scrivener's turned to his overseas coach to try and get the job done here in the middle overs.
So just a little bit about Luke. So he's come across from England a few years ago, from Warwickshire in the MCC, part of the young cricketers there. He was a sub-fielder at Lords for England versus South Africa back in 2017. Also mixed the cordials. Apparently he does a very good cordial, Matthew.
Wow.
He does a wonderful cordial. But it's interesting that Elliot Scrivener's gone. He's kept the left-right hand combination there, and I think facing Dan Pascoe, he wants a left-hander in there against Dan, because he bowls in a wonderful spot, especially the right-handers there.
Absolutely, as Dan comes into bowl here, and this one's hit towards deep point for a single in Nazakat's wheelhouse. David.
So Luke, he's a bit of a nudger early on. He missed it. He was brilliant against Kowloon Cricket Club. He really finished the game well when Hong Kong Cricket Club was struggling in the preliminary rounds against KCC. Last week got a duck, hit straight to mid wicket, got dropped, and then hit the same ball the very next ball to mid wicket, got caught. So I think he was sleeping for a couple of those deliveries there, but he's a wonderful young lad. He does a lot of work with Kowloon as well. He's developing well as a player, but especially as a coach here for Hong Kong Cricket Club. He'll be nervous, Luke, but just trying to get off the mark here against Dan Pascoe, the professor.
As Pascoe comes into bowl here again from the KBGC end, and Jones whips that away towards mid-wicket for no run. So look, the Hong Kong Cricket Club 2 for 63 in the 10th over, about halfway through. We'll need to consolidate here. Nazakat Khan going well at the other end on 27. Needs a partner in Luke Jones to try and he's gone big here. Looks like it might be caught. And Jamie Atkinson can't quite get to that. Luke Jones looking to slog sweep to the short boundary there.
Hit the toe of the bat.
Look to cue end it. Yeah, a little bit of chalk required there by Luke Jones, maybe.
Yes.
Do you have a snooker tables here at the Kowloon Cricket Club?
We do. They're below the main bar,
The
actually.
Sanctuary, it's called.
The Sanctuary. We have a couple at Hong Kong Cricket Club. I don't think they use that often though. What about at Kowloon Cricket Club?
No, I think they used to be used a little bit more than they are currently, but they certainly are in operation. And if you ever want to hide away from the world, and he looks like he's made it quite comfortably there.
He's very quick, Luke. He's very quick. Now a little bit later you'll hear about the 12th or 13th over. I'll be replaced by Tom Ingram. So a little bit of news on Tom. A wonderful fast bowler, dynamic batsman. When he's on, he plays like Kevin Peterson. He bowls like Harmison. But when he's off, he bowls like Kevin Peterson. He bats like Harmison. But he's coming back from a very serious injury, a knee injury, and he got himself back right. And unfortunately, Hahn's got a job to do there. Picks it up nicely. Unfortunately, he's hurt his knee badly, and it looks like he's going to be out for another season, which is devastating for not only for himself, Hong Kong Cricket Club, but Hong Kong going around. As you would know, Matt Still and Matt Collins, when Tom Ingram's up and going, he's an exciting player.
Well, I'm sure for everything he's going to miss out on the field, I'm sure he'll make up for it off the field, will Tommy. So looking forward to hearing a couple of thoughts from him a little bit later on in the broadcast.
Absolutely, as the Professor Pascoe comes in, well bowled. Tommy, he'll be looking to get married, and he's got engaged to a lovely Leanne. So he got engaged earlier this year, which is wonderful. So we can hear a bit more about that.
He's married.
And he's married already. Well, he's legally married, but he hasn't had the big day. And us three, Matt Collins, Matt Still, and Dave Varley, will be trying to talk themselves into an invite and maybe MC and best man at the wedding. But you never know what can happen down here at Kowloon Cricket Club, Matt.
Well, I'll send him through my rates, and we'll see whether I'm within his budget.
I think we're basically auditioning to be MC at his wedding, unless he does a great job on commentary and does it himself. He's a man of many talents, Tommy Ingram.
He is, yeah. Look, and that getting back to the game, that brings an end to the 10th over. So we're halfway through here. The score on 2 for clickety click, 66. Atiq Iqbal Ul Rahman is going to take up the bowling here from the KCC pavilion end as Jamie Atkinson, captain of the KCC side, in front of us here at Long On, sporting a very, very good floppy hat. You don't see the coloured floppy very often,
You
David.
don't. Is there any chance he might say another word to me, Matt, or am I going to have to wait another 10 years, do you think?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Depends
Well,
what we say. We're a chip back, and
he's
that's
gone.
out. Corden bowled. Luke Jones trying to turn the ball into the leg side has got a leading edge back to Atiq Iqbal Ul Rahman, and he's taken the easiest of catches for a bourbon and coke, as we call them in Australia. Luke Jones gone for 1. HKCC now in just a little bit of bother here, 3 for 66. Matthew.
Yeah, look, he just rolled his fingers across that, and just held up a little, and the easiest of catches you could possibly have as a bowler. So, great breakthrough there for the KCC. Probably on the balance, things now slightly in KCC's favour after what was a fairly solid partnership between Nizakat and Kinchik.
Absolutely, and we see Haroon Arshad, I believe it is, coming out to bat next. A very talented all-round Hong Kong batsman and bowler. He's going to have to do a job here today for the Hong Kong Cricket Club. But just again, want to shout out to Jamie Atkinson for that brilliant change of bowling. Azaz Khan came on the over before, didn't quite get it right. Jamie not afraid to pull the changes, brings back Atiq and gets him an immediate breakthrough. David.
Yeah, so a little bit on Haroon. So he came across. His first season Hong Kong Cricket Club this season. He was at Little Saiwan. Saw the light, came across. He's been a wonderful addition, coaching the Gappers as well. He's been terrific there. His top score in international cricket is 68 against the Netherlands. He's also taken 5 wickets against Nepal, 5 for 16. He's played with Kumar Sangakkara in the Blitz quite a few years ago, and he's also got out Darren Sammy before. That's some of his
Any favourite movie there, David? Or
favourite movie?
Or beverage, perhaps.
I think it was How to Lose a Man in 10 Guys.
10 days.
10 guys. I'm not 100% sure on that one. He might be Titanic as well, I think.
Well, a great flick featuring my favourite Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew.
Yeah.
Some say Charlie Wallace, who's forced himself back in today, is a bit like Matthew McConaughey.
A little look-alike.
A little bit of a look-alike.
A little doppelganger, I think they say.
That's right.
David. So look, that one there, first ball outside off stump, just try to flay away through the offside. Well, look, he's going to have to learn how to hit the ball in 10 days at the moment with HKCC and just a little bit of struggle.
I've just had a message through to actually say Haroon's favourite movie is The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith. What a wonderful flick that one is.
Yeah, look, a real tearjerker there. So fingers crossed it's not a tearjerker today.
No, so there's 2 run-outs already. So again, Kowloon Cricket Club taking those half chances. Well done. They're a wonderful fielding side led by Jamie Atkinson. Any controversy with Jamie not keeping, Chris Carter getting the gloves, considering Jamie's kept for Hong Kong, Matt?
Look, Jamie's getting on a bit. He's just hit 30 for those that don't know, and I think he was pretty keen to give the gloves to the younger, more agile and fitter Chris Carter, who obviously also has wicket kept for Hong Kong throughout the years, and that allows Jamie to just focus on the captaincy and batting at number 3. So
very good.
That's my inside word anyway.
And he's got terrific hands in the field, Jamie. He's an excellent outfielder.
Yeah, there might actually. He has mentioned that Chris Carter's outfielding is actually quite poor. So, to give him the gloves definitely maybe adds a little bit more for KCC in the field as Jamie Atkinson.
And when he gave his own speech at his 30th birthday, Matt, how long did that speech go for? 5 to 10 seconds?
About as many words as he gave you a few weeks ago, I think, David. Yeah, no, he's a man of few words, but yeah, when he speaks, people certainly listen. He's certainly a great leader.
He's captained the Hong Kong national side. Am I correct on that?
Most certainly, yes.
I believe he actually holds the record. He was the first ever ODI captain of a player born in the 2000s. Born in the 90s, my apologies. So
The youngest.
ODI captain. So yeah.
And shout out to Jamie's father, Steve Atkinson, back there in England. I'm sure he would have set the alarm nice and early to tune in to this one. So
he'll be sipping on a
legend KCC player and former Durham player. So shout out to you, Acko.
He'll be sipping on a cup of tea, no doubt,
think he
enjoying
would.
the broadcast. So fantastic.
Loves his cats as well. So I think he'd have a couple of cats that are around him.
Well, you and him both, Matt.
Yes, indeed.
Now,
Mate. Yes,
Nizakat's got a big job to do, doesn't he? He's been in there for 10 overs. Normally he'd be about 40 or 50 after 10 overs here. So he's involved in the disappointing run out with Kinchit Shah. Kinchit Shah did give him a couple of dirty looks on the way back. He'd be disappointed with the way he got out. So Nizakat's got a huge job to do. Watched here by national coach Trent Johnson, 199 games for Ireland, 4th on the all-time runs list, 18th on the wickets list. Now coach of the Hong Kong national side, as the professor Dan Pascoe still bowling from the bowls end. What's the full name of the bowls end, Matt Stiller?
Kowloon.
It's the Kowloon Bowls Greens Club. Kowloon, the KBGC.
You don't want to say it with a
Greens
mouthful
Club.
of peanuts, Vales.
Definitely
Yeah.
not. Definitely not.
Yeah, it's certainly referred, affectionately known as the KBGC, and they do a fantastic sort of curry over there as well. A couple of lawn bowls, fantastic club to be involved in. You've actually got to be a little bit older to be a member of that club. I think there's a minimum age requirement to be a member of the KBGC. So
Approximately? Hard to say.
60 to 65, I think, is
60 to
about the
65.
minimum age there.
Very
So,
good.
yeah, look, Nizaka's certainly taken his time anchoring the innings. Hasn't played a huge amount of cricket of recent times, Nizaka, with injuries. So, and this one's hit big towards long on, and it's caught it long on. He's gone. Haroon, and the shotgun has come out. That's not the shotgun. That's the double barrel single guns.
Double barrel gun.
The double barrel guns came out. We were wondering today with Dan Pascoe whether we'd be seeing the shotgun or the double barrel single gun. So we've seen them. It looks like Azaz Khan at long on there, safe as houses. Dan Pascoe throwing the ball up.
Just got above the eye line, didn't he, Matty?
Haroon could not resist the chance to take him downtown towards the KBGC end, and could only succeed in knocking it down long on's throat to put HKCC in a fair bit of trouble now at 4 for 67. David.
It looks like head coach of the Hong Kong Cricket Club, Ryan Buckley, who was touch and go to play today. He missed last week with a back injury. He had a fitness test this morning. It was a little bit like the guy from GWS in the last year, Phil.
Stephen Caniglio.
Phil
Davis.
Phil Davis. He had a fitness test in the morning and couldn't get the job done, unfortunately, when it came GWS versus Richmond in the 2019 Grand Final. Ryan Buckley, he's a man. I don't know if he's had a jab in the back, but he's showing a lot of courage to play today. He stepped up here. He's a man who's come from England in the northeast, played his cricket at Durham. He's won a county championship there as well, and he told me that he's 20 kilos lighter than Rory Keynes. So I think I'm probably 20 kilos lighter than Rory Keynes as well, and probably you as well, Matt Stiller, maybe not Matt Collins.
Well, Matt's not.
I was going to say, don't confuse your Matt's there, David.
No.
All right, Ryan Buckley obviously did the job last time against KCC. Came in and made a beautiful 30 odd towards the end. So going to be required again today to help HKCC post a competitive total. Matthew.
Yeah, look, what we're seeing here is just Dan's skill with his change of pace. It's just extremely difficult to get away. That last one that Haroon skied just got above the batsman's eye line, and you just see him continually just tweaking that pace. Oh, and it could be another run out. Well.
There is something going on. No disrespect to Nizakat, but he's not seemed to be running very well. There's some miscommunication with a number of batsmen here, Matthew.
I'm looking at actually, and there's very little backing up going on. There's very little sort of coming out of his crease, 4 or 5 steps, waiting to try and take that single. Look, to me, that was hit into the gap, and if they both set off straight away, generally you make it in, but maybe just guilty of sitting on his bat at the non-striker's end. Nizaka Khan on that occasion. Because this one's driven back to the bowler by Ryan Buckley. Yeah, look. As is the case sometimes with a player like Nizaka, beautiful striker of the ball, relies very heavily on boundaries, rotating of the strike, sometimes not the strongest part of his game. David.
Good shot there. That's a very fair call, and Ryan's one who likes to run well between the wickets there. So we've got messages coming in from all over the world. We've got Alex Shepherd down there in Queensland. Just told me he's looking to purchase a house. He's moved up to Queensland, one of the senior guys at New Balance. Got a few guys using the New Balance today. Not Martin Coetzee, he loves the Kookaburra. Didn't work out for him today, unfortunately. You got George Clark and Charles McInerney there watching over there in the UK. You got plenty here, as we mentioned, the Luke Boyce Thanksgiving party. They're loving it there with the turkey and all going on at the Luke Boyce Thanksgiving party. Zanel, he's watching as well. There's a huge crowd here. Isaac Poole, he's a former Premier League captain. He's down there in Tasmania. He's tuning in closely. What loves his Hong Kong cricket is Isaac Poole. He'd be devastated to not playing today, but unfortunately he's had to relocate at least semi-permanently down to Tasmania. runs have really dried up there. We're going 12 overs down, 4 for 68. They really need to get on with it, Matt Stiller.
Yeah, absolutely. Atiq Iqbal Ul Rahman will continue from the KCC Pavilion end here, bowling to Ryan Buckley, who's edging, playing and missing, I should say. And Chris
Well
Carter,
taken there by keeper Carter. That one just took off a little bit.
Fantastic. And just a plug here by Coach's Corner, Trent Johnston, in his pre-game, did mention that the best fielding team will probably win this final, with both teams being very equally matched with both bat and ball. And so far, a run out for KCC and a great catch by Azaz Khan there on the long on boundary have seen them do well, as Dan Pascoe fields at point as they scurry through for a well taken signal.
Now Nizakat will certainly be looking to target this short end. We know what a destructive batter he can be, and whilst we have mentioned that he hasn't really been getting those singles like perhaps he should have, there's no doubt he can go big here if he's still in at the end.
Absolutely, and the last 20 balls here, we've seen 3 wickets for 7 runs, David.
20 balls, 3 for 7. What under KCC, they pulled them back. This is a critical over. You've only got 4 or 5 overs left from the short end. Tiki, he's a cunning bowler, isn't he? He loves to mix up the pace. Matt Collins, you would have faced him in the nets or even at different times in Saturday League. Critical over for Nizakat to get after him and get that score rolling around.
Yeah, look, I think Atik's just got to keep doing what he's doing and just keeping it just short of a length, just outside that off stump. Anything full, and I think you're going to see it disappear into the stand here. Nizakat would be looking to pounce on that full one.
Definitely. He's just having a look here. John Prakash, the umpire there, square leg. Ian Thompson doing a wonderful job there. Some of the best umpires here in Hong Kong. They got the big job of the Premier League 2020 final. Nizakat facing Atiq here.
And he's looked to go big, and he's outside edge down towards third man. It looks like Azaz will cut that off and keep it to just a single. Fantastic bit of fielding there.
That's tremendous fielding there from Azaz. There was 2 there all day, and he pounced on that one and rocket like arm.
Absolutely. As I look to my right here, we can see the crowd still streaming through the side gate. Fantastic turnout today. Look, we were going to be charging tickets for this pay-per-view event, but we thought, the Brains Trust at KCC got together and thought, no, we'll do this one for free, give back a little bit to the community. And they've rewarded us by turning up.
And that's that full one.
That's hit beautifully straight down the ground by Ryan Buckley for a boundary. Atiq Iqbal Ul Rahman getting a little bit too full there, and Ryan Buckley punching down the ground, David.
He's got a big job to do. It's my last over before I go across the VIP area and shake a few hands and say hello to some of the big wigs of Hong Kong cricket.
The dignitaries.
The dignitaries of Hong Kong cricket.
It's a tough job, but someone's got to do it, David.
Someone needs to do it, and I'll be leaving you in some of the warmest and safest hands of Tom Ingram, who'll be taking over from in the commentary to join you gentlemen here. As Atiq comes in, Ryan Buckley got a very big job here. Yeah, well played, well bowled. Gets through there. One or two left in the over. He really needs to bang one over the fence here.
So that boundary that we saw just 2 balls ago, that was the first boundary in 28 balls for the Hong Kong Cricket Club. So KCC doing a great job here in the middle overs, just restricting the boundaries. And I don't think there'd be many often you would say that Nizakat Khan had been out there for 5 overs without hitting a boundary.
Absolutely, and we got another shout out to Ranak Kapoor, another guy who's around the Hong Kong national team. He's down there in New Zealand. It's a very good shot, lovely shot. He's
powerfully struck.
Rory Cox. We're looking forward to seeing him bat a bit later today. We say hello to Ronak at the end of the overs. I say goodbye to you gentlemen, and I will see you for the second innings as I pass over to Thomas Allen Mordrell Ingram.
Thank you very much, David, for that introduction for Tommy. While Tommy just takes his seat, obviously you heard Tommy has a bit of a knee operation, so it looks like a little bit of a struggle for him to sit down in that chair. We welcome Tommy. Tommy, what are your thoughts on the game so far?
Well, good afternoon, Matt. Good afternoon, everyone watching. It's a beautiful autumnal day here in Hong Kong. The sun is shining, but Hong Kong Cricket Club seem to be sort of left in the shade at this point. 76 for 4 after 13 overs. We need something big here from Nizakat and Ryan to really post a competitive total, I think.
Absolutely, and we will see a change in bowling here. It's going to be the leg spin of Wakas Barker, the head coach here of the Kowloon Cricket Club. He has been bowling beautifully of late through the round matches. 2 right-handed batsmen in at the moment, so Jamie Atkinson choosing to bowl Wakas, who will try and turn the ball away, Matthew.
Yeah, look, he's bowled well recently, Wakas, and terrific all-round cricketer. Wonderful fielder, in my view. Probably the best fielder in Hong Kong, but more than useful with the ball. So let's see how he goes here.
Absolutely.
In his last outing, he tended to push them through a little bit quicker. So it'll be interesting what he does here today. Whether he does give them a bit of flight or whether he just looks to zip them through.
Yeah, look, he does generally bowl quite quick. He does have the short boundary there on the offside to Nazaket Khan. So, looks like we've got a no ball here.
Well, a criminal offence from a spinner that.
Yeah, you don't often see that. And that is quicker, very well bowled actually. Fired that one in. Tommy?
These are the points really where Hong Kong Cricket Club are missing out on the big opportunities to make some runs. There's been a few no balls today, and I don't think any of them have been hit for... There was 1 6, but everything else has sort of gone for a single. The opportunities are there for the cricket club, but we can't quite yet seem to take control.
Yeah, absolutely. There's certainly been some overstepping by the KCC players today, but it's certainly not made to rue those chances. Yeah. So, look, what's in the shed after these two, Tommy? Who's left to come in the bat to try and finish off the innings?
I imagine Rory Keynes would come in next. He has the ability to really take control. And then Elliot Scribner as well scored a wonderful 100 in the 2-day game against KCC last year. So there's plenty of batting still to come. I think our hopes really are rested at the moment on Nazaket Khan. He's a proven run scorer, has scored runs in all sort of formats of cricket. So we just hope from here he'll really be able to take control. It hits him over the boundary.
As he's whipping away there towards long on for a single. Yes, a lot resting on Nazaket Khan's shoulders here to try and push HKCC up to a competitive total, which, look, we started early in the day and we thought about 140 to 150. Matty, you were saying maybe 150 to 160 with the shorter boundaries. What a shot that is.
Great shot over cover by Ryan Buckley for 6.
And that has gone on top of the AstroTurf wicket nets. We can see the kids playing underneath them there. Ryan Buckley into out, over cover, has smashed it on top of the AstroTurf wickets for a much required Dorothy Dix, as we call them.
Yes, indeed. That was a lovely shot there by Buckley. Really starting to get into the groove here, and although I will say I think he should look to give the strike as much as possible to Nazaket, perhaps particularly at the shorter end.
Yeah. And as we look to try and retrieve the ball, the kids are throwing bats and balls and all sorts trying to get that, but it doesn't look like they're going to be successful, to be honest with you.
Yes, I think there's a new ball coming out now.
Yeah.
So at 86 for 4, 7.5 overs left, or 6.5 overs left, sorry. What would you say Hong Kong Cricket Club should be aiming for?
Yeah, so 39 balls, it looks like, roughly 39, 40 balls to go. They're going to want at least a run a ball, maybe more towards 8 and over, which would take them to 6, 8 to 48, about 140? Yeah. 140, 145 is going to be probably the minimum score required to be competitive today. Having said that, being from Australia, I know we don't usually play finals here, but a finals type pressure are where the big players step up. So a lot of pressure on in the second innings, and generally runs on the board win you matches in finals.
And the par score here at at Kowloon Cricket Club has been...
Well, we've seen in the first match, 148 has been the par. We've seen one lower than that, but that was on a very tough wicket. Simandeep Singh batted beautifully to get to 134, which, to be honest with you, was 30 or 40 too many on that wicket.
I think this is the best wicket KCC have put out this season, so hence I thought maybe a few more.
And then I believe against USRC, I think they made 169, 168. So look, in between, anywhere in between that, I think around about that 150 is going to be sort of par score and a very competitive one for the KCC to try and chase a little bit later on today.
And in the KCC chase, who are the batsmen to really look out for?
He's missed. That's a miss stumping by Chris Carter. Ryan Buckley looking to work that away in the onside, lifted his back foot, and Chris Carter unfortunately has dropped it and given Ryan Buckley a reprieve as we see the end of the 14th over. The score has moved on to 86 for 4. So Tommy, look, I think in reply, in KCC's batting, we're going to be looking at Rory Cox up front, and Azaz Khan open the batting. Both have scored 50s and 60s this year. Azaz, as we know, captain of Hong Kong, a proven performer on the world stage. Rory Cox, probably a new name for a lot of people, only came onto the cricket scene 2 years ago. He played his last season last year and took all before him, playing Premier League cricket. A stylish looking left-handed batsman. Number 3, we're going to have Jamie Atkinson, household name here in Hong Kong, has been for 15 years. Played all his cricket in Hong Kong, played some county cricket in the UK. He will come in number 3, and then Simandeep Singh, who just batted beautifully last game out, making 60. So look, they'll be relying on those top 4 to make whatever runs are required. As we see a change in bowling, it's going to be the Namibian nightmare, Jay Davidson, to come in here from the KCC Pavilion end.
Well, it's very short there from Jay, but
Looked like a change of pace there, Tom.
yeah, a slower one.
Yeah, it looked like, look, we've seen this before, Jay coming in bowling in the power play, bowling 3 overs, and then towards the middle to latter overs, coming in and bowling that last one to try and get the breakthrough, to really allow KCC to keep their foot in the throat. So a little off cutter there into the wicket, very difficult to get away.
Well, there's only 3 overs left here at the short end, Matty, so Hong Kong Cricket Club are really going to need to be looking to take full toll of these 17 balls remaining at this short end.
Yes, from what we're seeing, Jay will come in and then Azaz will most likely finish off from this end. And that one's whipped away beautifully, and it's nearly hit the 6. And we've got a photographer out there who had to duck and dive his way. We thought we might be in a bit of trouble there, but it just eluded him for a much required 6 runs for the Hong Kong Cricket Club by Nazarkid Khan.
Yeah, just erring on the pads there and made to pay the full price. He's got himself well set here, Nizakat. So really, we could be set for some fireworks in these remaining overs.
Yeah, he's moved on to 38 now and has been the mainstay of the Hong Kong Cricket Club batting innings. As Captain Jamie Atkinson talks to his charger Jay Davidson about where he should be bowling.
Well, I think it might be more of a don't bowl there, man.
Probably not on the pads would be the appropriate advice there. So, as with just a short delay in play, as Matthew Collins, your wife and daughter walk up the stairs.
Yes, indeed. Got the full family down here today, mate.
And that's full.
That's a no ball.
No ball again by Jay Davidson. Now this is inexcusable by the KCC bowlers.
Another opportunity for Hong Kong Cricket Club to really make them pay. Ryan Buckley on strike now, so let's see if he can take advantage.
Yeah, look, inexcusable again from KCC. That would be the 4th or 5th no ball of the day, I think, by my counting. You know, I'm all for trying to get every bit of pace. I mean, when I bowled in the past, I could have bowled off 18 yards and wouldn't have been quick enough. But you know, Jay Davidson bowls a heavy ball and probably doesn't need to be getting that close to the line. But he can change the field, which is a bit of an advantage here. So we can see 3 men out on the leg side, look to go into the wicket here, and he has brilliant bit of bowling.
Slower ball.
Slower ball into the wicket, very difficult to hit.
Very tough one to hit that, Matty. Terrifically executed there by the Namibian nightmare.
And another free hit unpunished by Hong Kong Cricket Club.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, very warm day here at the KCC. Must be late 20s. Beautiful day for cricket. As Jay comes in again and he bowls a brilliant Yorker in the block hole there. Ryan Buckley just turns it into the leg side for a single. So again, it looks like young Ahan Trivedi, who took all before him in the first 2 games of the season, taking 5 wickets and a hat trick. Tommy Ingram, you might have heard about that over the other island, is not going to get a bowl by the looks of it. So we've got Wackes Parkard, who will continue to bowl probably from the other end with the 2 right-handed batsmen on strike. Jamie Atkinson maybe not going to his off. Oh, that's gone. That has gone to the west side for a big 6. Short boundary there. And he's picked it up beautifully over the spectators, and that's gone up the side gate towards the west side for another 6 here. Nazarkid Khan starting to turn it on.
Yes, superb shot.
This is the moment you're really hoping that Nizkat, you know, smashes his foot on the accelerator. 5 overs left, I think, after this ball. And the way he bats, though, he has the ability to score a tremendous amount of runs in this short period of time.
As Jay gets 2 leg side again, and that's another boundary for Nazarkid Khan. Jay Davidson erring onto the pads again. That's twice in this over, and it's a big one for HKCC. Exactly what they needed. 18 runs coming off the over, and the score has moved on to 105, my apologies, for 4 wickets with 15 overs gone. Matthew?
Yeah, look, really any score's imaginable from here, the way Nizakat's playing. I mean, this short end, it's quite easy. We've seen in other games to be scoring 15, 20 plus and over from this short end. So look, I mean, 150, 160 still well and truly on the cards. Obviously, is the key, Tommy, is that Nizakat stays out there.
Yeah, he absolutely has to. I mean, he needs the support with Ryan Buckley, looking to rotate the strike the way that Nizkat's hitting it now. I mean, initially in the innings, he wasn't able to really hit the middle at any points, but as the game has progressed, he's really been able to sort of launch them out the park. So looking to rotate the strike, I think, is Ryan's job now, and really give Nizkat an opportunity to smash the ball out the park.
So it's going to be Wackos Barker to continue here from the KBGC end, bowling to Ryan Buckley. And he's dragged this one down, he's pushed it towards cover for no run. Yeah, look, we've really seen a momentum change over the last 3 overs, with HKCC scoring 37 runs, thanks mainly to Nizakat Khan, with Ryan Buckley also chipping in.
And that's the talent Nizakat has. He absolutely has the ability to take the game away from you as long as he stays in. Ryan Buckley doing his job there, giving a single to Nizkat. This gives him 4 balls now to potentially score quite a few runs.
Yeah, that'll bring Nizakat Khan. Interesting to see what his approach is here with the long boundary down towards the KBGC, and will he look to try and take him on? Or will he just milk the singles? I think that's some very smart play by Nizakat there, knowing full well the short boundary end here is the KCC Pavilion. And well batted by Nizakat Khan. A brilliant 50 in a final. We spoke earlier with head coach Trent Johnson about the big players stepping up in finals, and Nizakat Khan's showing his class here by making a fantastic 50. Ryan Buckley looking to just get off strike here and get Nizakat Khan off on strike. And that's pushed down towards long off for a single, looking for 2, but not down there to Simandeep Singh.
I think this was something that Hong Kong Cricket Club struggled with, certainly at the beginning of the innings, was rotating the strike. With the fielding positions the way they were, certainly for the first 6 overs, there were plenty of opportunities to work the ball around the field, which I don't think Hong Kong Cricket Club were able to do successfully at all. Which is why we sort of struggled up to this sort of 12th, 13th over. Thankfully, having Nizkat still in, you're really able to push on and get a decent score.
And that'll bring it into the 16th over. There's 4 overs remaining. The score is 4 for 109. So 24 balls remaining, score of 109. They're still looking around about that 150, I think, that 145 to 150 to be competitive in this final. And as we know, runs on the board in a final with pressure on chasing, HKCC will certainly back themselves to try and defend a score like that.
Yeah, with Charlie Wallace coming back now, that brings some real firepower to the Hong Kong Cricket Club's bowling attack. He missed out on, he played the first game and then missed out on the rest of them, and thankfully has been picked for the final. He's one of the real bowling talents at Hong Kong Cricket Club, and it's great to see him back.
Well, we did talk about that earlier with David Barley, and we understand he's missed a fair bit of cricket.
Yeah.
But he's proven his fitness over the last couple of weeks and come back in for this final.
He's a delicate soul, Charlie Wallace. He can play incredibly well. Well, now Nizkat launches it over the top, down to fine leg, just for a single. Yeah, Charlie Wallace is a delicate chap. He has all the ability in the world, but unfortunately is a bit like a twig and snaps easily. He missed most of last season with, I think, fractured foot. And this season, obviously, he started incredibly well, but missed out on the next few games. But he's back today, which is great.
Fantastic, and good luck to him this afternoon. As Atiq Iqbal-ul-Rahman comes in and he's slashing outside off stump, there is Ryan Buckley. Nice take there by Chris Carter on that occasion. Yeah, I mean, and the unlucky play to miss out from Team Chiefs was Martin Versveld.
Yeah, Booster missed out today, and Ninad as well missed out today. These are the hard decisions you have to make, though. When you have a roster like Hong Kong Cricket Club's, unfortunately, good players are going to miss out, and say stumping appeal, not out. Good players are going to miss out, especially the likes of Ninad, Booster as well. But they brought out the best side that they think can take on KCC today, and we'll have to see if that works out well.
Yeah, it certainly raised a few eyebrows. I know with the rugby player Jack Meadows getting the nod over Ninad Shah.
Yeah, he was obviously a Saturday CCC player, then snuck into one of the Premier League games, scored 24 off 6 balls, and the rest is history. He is an outstanding talent, great batsman, He hasn't been featured today. I could imagine, though, if there is another loss of the wicket, the way he hits the ball, he will probably come in next.
And this has just been a fantastic over here by Atik. He has gone for 2 runs in these 4 balls, but he is now bowling to the dangerous Nazakat Khan, who will be trying to take on this very short boundary here at the KCC Pavilion end. And he's bowled short of a length there into the wicket, and Nazakat Khan has pounded it down towards long on for just a single.
He's bowled beautifully both today and in the qualifying games. It's very, very difficult to get away, and I'd imagine the Hong Kong coach might be taking a fairly close look at him. His form line's been tremendous.
Yeah, he's certainly one that they certainly should be looking at. Yes, without a doubt. For T20s and the cutters and the slower balls and all that sort of stuff, he's got a heap of. That's a great shot by Ryan Buckley. He's pounded that through the cover region for 4. Got a little bit of width and jumped all over it to bring up a much needed boundary there for the Hong Kong Cricket Club as they move on to 116 for 4 with 3 overs remaining.
That was absolutely needed there. Ryan Buckley, the man you need in a crisis. It would have been a fantastic over, but thankfully just to finish it for Hong Kong Cricket Club, Ryan Buckley smashing it through the covers for 4. Now 116 for 4, 17 overs gone, 3 remain. You've got a question. Yeah, Hong Kong Cricket Club have to be looking at least 140 here, do you think?
Yeah, I think I actually mentioned 140 earlier in the day as my sort of pass score. Matty went a little bit higher. Matty was at 150 due to the game yesterday and the fact that it looked quite a good wicket in the 35 over game here with where the KCC Tartars triumphed over USRC. So we are going to see the professor, the legal professor, for those that haven't been following the footage. The broadcast over the last few weeks. He is the most professional man in Hong Kong. Hates people having a beer before a game, loves having a glass of wine after it.
He does like a red, Matty.
He loves a red, yeah. He's also sporting the towel, but knowing how professional he is, I'm sure there's functionality attached to that towel, unlike the one Chris Carter's wearing.
Indeed, Matty, indeed.
So this will be Nazakat Khan to Dan Pascoe, and he's hitting for a massive 6. That's up on the swimming pool pavilion. That's a huge 6 by Nazakat. Daniel, the Professor Pascoe, getting a little bit too short.
Yeah.
And Nazakat Khan leant back and pounded it towards the swimming pool end.
That's exactly the kind of ball Nizkat would have loved to have seen come towards him. Able to just step back, rock back, and just launch that over square leg.
And that's a great start to the over by the Hong Kong Cricket Club. They'll be looking to capitalise on this over. And he's gone big again over cover. Might hit he might hit the cameraman. The cameraman's seen it and got out of the way again. That's another bound. That's another 6 from Nazakat Khan. He's really starting to put his foot down now. Goes inside out over cover.
Pressure really being put here on Dan Pascoe. Normally the coolest and calmest blokes on the field. You have to wonder what's going on through his mind. First ball 6, second ball 6. Where's he going to put the ball, Matt?
Yeah, look, he's going to probably look to try and fire this one in just a little bit quicker in towards the pads, and that's what he's done. And they set off for a single, and they make it easily. Well set off there by Ryan Buckley to keep the strike rotating. Yeah, look, now the pressure back on Dan Pascoe. He's usually very miserly, very economical, doesn't usually take much tap, but not today. Nazakat Khan really playing a fantastic innings for his side here. Potentially a match-winning one, Matthew.
Yeah, he's batted beautifully. He's given himself some time at the crease as he knocks one down there to long off. Very reminiscent of Azaz Khan's innings, in the preliminary rounds against Hong Kong Cricket Club, where he sort of took his time and then accelerated enormously in the last 6 or 7 overs. So he's batted beautifully.
Absolutely. He's back on strike here to Dan Pascoe. And he's gone big, and this might be caught. And it's caught, and he's gone. A huge wicket for KCC.
Guns are out.
And the guns are out for Dan Pascoe again. We thought we'd see the shotgun, but it wasn't. It was the double guns.
Dan, he's our man. If he can't do it, no one will.
So that'll be the end of a fantastic innings by Nazakat Khan. A real senior player's innings there. He'll go for 66, clickety-click, off probably less balls than that. Don't have it in front of me right now.
It was a wonderful innings. Tragedy for Hong Kong Cricket Club, given the position they were in and where Nizkat fought back to bring them now. So 130 for 5. So it is Jack Metters coming in as expected. He can absolutely launch the ball as well. A very dangerous batsman. So one danger man goes and another one comes back in. So I don't expect the fireworks to stop here. It should be a good one.
As Ryan Buckley takes a much needed drink there. He's moved on to 23 and is definitely doing his job here for the Hong Kong Cricket Club. So Dan Pascoe bounces back after being hit for consecutive sixes to start the over. Pulls that one down. Nazakit Khan looking to go for a third maximum over mid-wicket. Only succeeds in getting a top edge to Atiq Iqbal ul Rahman, who was standing out short third man. So the left-hander. I wonder whether this means we're going to see a Khan Trivedi get an over here. Usually, Jamie Atkinson likes to throw the ball to the spinners who are spinning the ball away from the batsman, but with Ryan Buckley out there, he may well hold. So we had a 63-run partnership there from Ryan Buckley and Nazakit Khan, with Ryan Buckley contributing 23 and Nazakit Khan the balance. My maths isn't great, but I'm going to go with 42.
And how many balls was that off?
Great question, Tom.
Sorry, I put you on the spot there.
My stats gurus let me down there. I don't have that information in front of me, but I shall find it.
It was certainly a partnership that rescued Hong Kong Cricket Club from quite a precarious situation, really. From this point, 2.5 overs left. Hong Kong Cricket Club can certainly look to get up to the 150 score that you said was par earlier in the innings.
And that one's cut away to Rory Cox at backward point. 2 cleans up for just a single. Yeah, so Tom, to answer your question, 42 balls was the answer there. So
yeah,
a fantastic partnership, much needed for the Hong Kong Cricket Club, and have put them in a very, very strong position here with 2 overs remaining.
2 overs remaining, right.
So who is going to close out? I can see Azaz Khan running to the bowling crease here. Jamie Atkinson talking to Wakas Barkard about what the field might be, and it will be Azaz Khan, the experienced Hong Kong captain, opening bowler, opens the batting. He's just talking with Jamie Atkinson about where he'd like his field. Probably asking for a few more if he can get him, but
yeah, with Jack Messers facing, as mentioned before, he got 24 off 6 balls a couple of games ago. He's clearly an athlete. Plays Premiership Rugby in Hong Kong, and now plays Premiership Cricket for Hong Kong Cricket Club. So a man of many talents, it seems. So we'll see how successful he can be today. This is a short boundary end, so they'll certainly look to take advantage. It's nice and short, straight. What is it, about 55 metres?
Yeah, we said that earlier.
Yeah.
We think about 50 metres. Yep, batting from the far end there. So Azaz comes in a bowl here to Jack Meadows, who looks to go big. This has gone very high. Rory Cox looks like he's coming in, shielding it from the sun, and he's dropped it. And he's dropped it. And he spilt it. He never looked comfortable under that one. The sun was an issue early on. He then found it in the sun, but could only succeed in putting it down. And KCC may rue that drop chance.
That's a huge reprieve for Jack Messers there. Obviously an incredibly dangerous batsman, and instead of sending him back to the pavilion, he's got 2 and is back on strike at the short end.
Yeah, look, Azaz bowling in the wheelhouse. And this one's short, and he's pulling to a short fine leg for just the 1 run. Yeah, look, I guess time will tell on how important that is. Not only the 2 runs it'll cost to the score, but whether or not Jack Meadows can get a few over the boundary here in the last few overs.
Ryan Buckley now facing up, and he needs to take some real responsibility to score the big runs now. He did an amazing job nurdling the ball around, getting Nizkat on strike. But now, as the senior batsman remaining, he needs to take control and launch some across the boundary.
Yes, he'll certainly be looking to target this short end, and Azaz again just having a quick chat to skipper Jamie Atkinson about his field. Looking like he's going to drop down the 3rd man.
If you could compare Jamie Atkinson to an international captain, who would you sort of compare him to other than himself?
I would probably look at a Michael Vaughan.
Interesting.
One from the past. Yeah, look, from a similar part of the country, not exactly. I know Vaughan's Yorkshire, isn't he? I believe.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
And Jamie's more from the Durham way. But yeah, look, just in terms of their demeanour, quite cool, calm, and collected. Michael Vaughan's probably got a little bit more to say than Jamie Atkinson, but certainly both big social media men.
Yeah.
Jamie does love his Instagram and
Instagram stories.
Instagram
Can't keep
stories. Yeah. I think we actually saw one yesterday. I think he was out doing some Christmas tree shopping with his wife, with his fiance, with his girlfriend, I should say.
Work your way down from the top of the list.
I'd actually say perhaps a Graham Smith lookalike.
That's what I was going to say. Graham Smith.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, any reason why? Any particular feature you think might stand out on him there, or
Body shape.
Possibly the chin, Matty.
Okay, right. Okay, yep. I have heard that one a couple of times from a few people around the traps, but that's fine. As Azar's just bowled there to Jack Meadows, tucked him up on the pads and just edged away there for a single. So, yeah, look, no, everyone's got their own striking features about them, and that's certainly a good one to have, Matthew. And that one's full and...
Well, he's missed out there, Buckley. That was full and wide and really should have been dealt with.
He's looking at the square leg umpire, but I must say, from our vantage point, it definitely looked below the waist
Yeah,
there.
that definitely looked below the
But look, in saying that, extras have really hurt the KCC today. I believe maybe 4 no balls, 3 wide, so they've effectively given Hong Kong Cricket Club an extra over. And the big question is that going to cost them at the end of the day?
Well, Hong Kong Cricket Club wasn't really able to take advantage. It is obviously a hamper on the bowling effort itself.
Beautiful bowling here from Azar's card.
But apart from these no balls, I mean, it's been a wonderful bowling effort from all of the KCC guys.
So a fantastic over there by Azaz Khan, bowling to the short end, just 6 runs off that over.
Yeah. What looked like 150 has now come back to sort of the early 140s at this point. Still a competitive total. At one point it certainly looked like it was going to be a lot lower than that, so it's good to see Hong Kong Cricket Club get up there and post a competitive total.
So an interesting call here from skipper Jamie Atkinson. It's going to be Wakas Barker, the leg spinner, to bowl the final over. Now, you don't often see a spinner bowling the final over. One that jumps to my mind was the 1995-1996 West Indies versus Australia. Michael Bevan leading Australia to a chase where I believe it was Roger Harper bowling the 50th over of the game, and Michael Bevan requiring 4 runs to win off the last ball. Full toss, charging. Michael Bevan hits it straight over the umpire's head and gets a 4 for a famous victory. So,
straight down the ground, wasn't it, Matty?
And we just found out from head coach Trent Johnson, he was actually at the ground. So
you're all showing your age at this point.
I believe
Trent would have been a mere babe in arms back then.
Oh, yeah. Tom Ingram probably just about born by that point.
I was 6 years old then,
right,
so
okay.
My memories unfortunately don't go back to West Indies versus Australia matches, unfortunately.
A very famous game anyway. So look, hopefully Wakas Barker doesn't get hit for 4 for his sake for the last ball of the over. So he'll bowl to Jack Meadows here of the Hong Kong Cricket Club, and that one's quicker and swung away to deep mid wicket, to cow corner as we call it.
Ashley Caddy down there, I believe, didn't seem to pick that up.
No, we haven't seen a lot of Ashley Caddy today. He bowled the 1 over earlier on.
Yeah, it wasn't his finest moment, to be fair,
No.
but he hasn't bowled a great deal in the preliminary round, so it was an interesting choice to give him a role, but just the 1 over. But
who missed out on Ashley Caddy's behalf?
Well, he's been playing the majority of the games as Ryan Buckley knocks that towards long on for just a single. Yeah.
So he was in contention.
I believe Devang Bulsara played the first match while Caddy was injured, and then Caddy came in for the second match and Devang was left out.
And I mean, Ashley's been a tremendous player for the club for a number of years. There's been no coincidence that the rise in KCC cricket and the titles that they've won has coincided with Ashley joining the club and taking various leadership roles. He's a crucial player for the KCC.
Sits on the committee as well, gives back his time to the cricket club committee, and this one's smashed to long off for a single by Jack Meadows, and they're pushing for 2, but not there. How about that pickup by Wakas Barker just then? Just a thing of beauty.
He's fielding sublime.
Just melted into his hands.
He just makes it look easy, Matty.
So a fantastic over here, just 3 off the first 3 balls. 3 balls remaining here for the Hong Kong Cricket Club to try and push that score up towards 150. And we can see things starting to get a little bit leery towards the spectator side, which is fantastic to see.
That's a great
and that's
shot.
A fantastic lap sweep, and that'll go for 4. That's a very smart shot there by Ryan Buckley. Although it was a full toss, so he maybe could have hit it potentially towards the swimming pool.
Yeah,
But
he's gone for 6 instead.
But the end result of, and we've got some music being played now, some sexy back.
Yeah, some sexy back.
That was
Well,
a
with Ryan-
needed 4 for Hong Kong Cricket Club. Wakas was bowling and is bowling in all the right spots.
And they're going to push for two here. They're going to come back. And that's going to be run out.
It's great running.
Oh no, they've made it easily. They've made it easily. That all looked quite strange there, to be honest. But
I think he was home
he was
comfortably.
just home. Yeah. So a great bit of running there by the HKCC batsmen. 145 now. If they can get a boundary away this last ball, they can push it towards that 150 required, which will be very competitive in a final, Matthew.
Yeah, most certainly. Like I think KCC wouldn't mind that sort of total to chase. In saying that, I think Hong Kong Cricket Club, after losing a glut of wickets in the middle part of the innings, would have been happy to get the score upwards of that 150 area. So, look, I think it's game on.
And that's the end of the innings there. So 146 for 5. The final score there by the Hong Kong Cricket Club. A very, very competitive score in a final. Best performers. We will now just run through the scorecard. I'm actually going to cross to the app, and I'm going to ask Matthew Collins to go through the scores.
Okay, so Martin Curtsey, the crucial wicket of Martin Curtsey, 12 off 11. Nizakat Khan, what may well be a match-winning performance, batted beautifully, taking his time early, establishing a great platform and getting on with it. 66 off 41. Kinchit Shah looked dangerous for the time he was out there, 18 off 25. Luke Jones, just the 1 off 4 balls. Harun Ashad, 1 off 7 balls. And a lovely little cameo towards the end there from Ryan Buckley, 32 off 30, a really crucial innings. And Jack Medders chipping in for 7 not out as well off 6 balls. Onto the bowlers, I'll pass over to Tommy.
Okay, so Jay Davison, he bowled 4 overs for 35 runs. Quite slightly expensive, but he got the all-important wicket of Martin Curtsey. Curtsey's, I think, averaging before this match around in the late 80s, so getting that wicket was absolutely crucial to KCC's bowling efforts. Aizaz Khan, 4 overs, 20 runs, economy of 5, which in 2020 cricket's outstanding. Ashley Caddy struggled. His first ball was a no ball, and promptly then got hit for 6, so he bowled his 1 over for 11 runs. Atiq Iqbal, 4 overs for 29 with 1 wicket as well. He bowled fantastically. His economy doesn't really show how well he bowled. We went for 7.25 and over. Dan Pascoe, the professor, as reliable as always, one of the best spinners in Hong Kong. 4 overs, 25 runs, 2 wickets with an economy of 6.25. And Wakas Barkat, again, he bowled particularly well, but his figures don't show it. 3 overs for 24 runs at 8 and over. Pick of the bowlers for me would have been Dan Pascoe. I thought he was fantastic as always. And now we have a sort of 15-20 minute break, I imagine, and then we'll get on to the innings of Kowloon Cricket Club as they chase 147.
Yes, we'll take a break in proceedings, and we'll be back here in 10 or 15 minutes.
For those of you just tuning in, we are now in the innings break. 146 for 5 is what the Hong Kong Cricket Club managed in their first innings. Of course, I'd like to thank everyone involved making this game possible. We've got our sponsor, Green Ink, who have been supporting Premier League cricket and Junior League cricket in Hong Kong for the second season now, so we like to thank them, appreciate all the hard work. Of course, we'd like to thank Kowloon Cricket Club for hosting the final, providing plenty of hospitality for all the spectators and fans who've come down to watch the game. Also, a quick message that we have been taking extensive anti-corruption measures during this tournament. So if anyone has any plans of doing anything untoward, rest assured we have been taking measures to ensure the safety and integrity of this competition. First innings covered by our commentators. Volunteering for today, Matt Stiller, Matt Collins, David Varley, Tom Ingram, and we've also got James Chan here in the booth with us. So, hope you're enjoying the coverage. Second innings should start in a few minutes. 147 to win in 20 overs. We'll come back to you then.
And welcome back here to the KCC for this Cricket Hong Kong Premier League T20 final between HKCC and KCC. HKCC batting first, made 146 for 5 in their 20 overs. Brilliant batting by Nazarkar Khan, making 66, the backbone of that innings, and propelling HKCC to a very competitive score. In just a few moments, we'll see KCC try and chase that down with openers Rory Cox, number 42, the elegant left-handed David Gower lookalike, to come out and bat with Hong Kong captain Azaz Khan, who has been brilliant throughout this tournament with both bat and ball. Your thoughts on the chase, Matthew?
Yeah, look, I think the total's a fair one, without being, without being too much to chase. I think maybe Hong Kong Cricket Club got out of jail there, losing quite a few wickets in the middle part of their innings. But look, the score's a very gettable one. But in saying that, the KCC guys are going to have to bat very, very well.
Exactly, and opening the bowling looks like it's going to be David Varley's favourite cricketer, Charlie Wallace. David.
The Matthew McConaughey of the Hong Kong Cricket Club, you would say. Now, absolutely fascinating that Charlie Wallace has got himself back in. He had a subluxation, which is, for those at home, is basically a partial separation and dislocation of his shoulder only less than a month ago. So the word is he was out for 3 months and he's come back for the game. Let's see how he goes here.
As he comes in first ball here, looks like a wide-ish ball, and it is called wide by umpire John Prakash.
So he's a man who's he played for Durham Uni and also Wimbledon Cricket Club. He's come to the Hong Kong Cricket Club a couple of years ago. Bowls pretty good gas. He's training with the national squad under Trent Johnson. But courageous decision by Elliot Scrivener to see if this one works out, because this is his first game back from a very serious shoulder injury as he comes into Rory Cox. Ooh.
And that one's down the leg side, called wide again here.
Not so. Bowling to Rory Cox, you're absolutely right. He is the David Gower of Hong Kong cricket. Just his cover drives are just elegant and just beautiful to watch. Does have a massive issue, we think, at Hong Kong Cricket Club against right arm off spin bowling. We call it the Brett Long effect. Brett Long's picked him up 3 times in a row, bowling right arm round the wicket off spin. So Kinchit Char's got a big job against David Gower, e.g. Rory Cox. Well bowled into the pitch there. Charlie Wallace, Matt Stiller and Matt Collins, there was no chance of playing even 5 days ago, but he's come in for the very unlucky Martin Booster. Thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously heard talk about this during the week, that there might be that change with Charlie Wallace coming back from injury. I actually played a game against Charlie Wallace earlier this year. I think you played in that game, David. He bowled very sharp. This was prior to his subluxation.
That's correct, yeah,
prior to that. So interesting to see how he goes, as that one's run down to third man for a single to get Rory Cox underway today.
And shout out as well to Edward Cox in the UK, down there in Hampshire. Rory's father. He would be having the alarm set nice and early and listening in. So welcome to the coverage, Edward.
Does he go by Edward or Ted?
Well, I understand it's Edward.
Okay, we'll go with Edward.
Let's go formal, Matty.
Why not? Yeah.
Very good. So he's got the headband. The first time he's worn the headband in his career at Hong Kong Cricket Club. He's obviously following Haroon. Haroon loves a red headband.
Well, and Hassan Khan Muhammad, my favourite cricketer from Pakistan Association, who we talked about a couple of weeks ago wearing it.
So it seems to be the new thing. These young cricketers with their headband. Oh.
And that one's hit away, and it might come back for 2. They're coming back.
That's tremendous running there by Azaz Khan. Absolutely no hesitation. Saw the slight misfield and immediately back for the second.
So I think
superb running.
I think the feeling at Hong Kong Cricket Club was it was a real danger bowling from the short end here, and they needed a bit more pace. And they thought maybe Booster, as talented and as wily as he is, it could have been a risk. So they brought in the extra fast bowlers. So I think Haroon, Charlie Wallace, and Adil Mahmood will probably bowl the 10 overs from this end.
Well, similar to how it works in Olympic swimming, if you qualify for the in the heats, then you get the medal. So I'm sure Booster, if they're successful today,
what a shot!
Lovely feeling by Martin Kurtzia.
I'm sure Booster will get that medal should the Hong Kong Cricket Club be successful in their quest today for victory in this Premier League T20 final. But
Azaz Khan there hitting the ball as hard as we've seen anyone hit it today, but he's picked out the fielder there at mid-wicket. That was hit absolutely superbly.
And for a man who's played some very high cricket, faced Rabada actually when he was coming through the ranks, did Martin Kurtzia from South Africa. Well bowled. Oh, could have him know. John Prakash says that's not out.
It looks a little high there, David.
A little bit high, maybe going away. Good decision there.
Well, he's runs.
Again, a big shout out to Martin Kurtzia's parents, Nico and Linda over there in Joburg. They're watching on, terrific supporters. Martin came across with his lovely wife who's here today watching. Missed out with a bat today, which is disappointing for his fans around the world, but he made a very good stop there. Got to get it outside off stump here to Charlie Wallace as he comes in to Rory Cox.
Carved away down there to third man.
And that'll bring an end to the first over of the innings. The score at 7 for no wicket. Fantastic to look around KCC here and see spectators streaming in through the side gates. A fantastic crowd. A very well publicised event by Cricket Hong Kong, by the Hong Kong Cricket Club and by KCC to get people down here today to watch. I can see the VIP. You were up there earlier, David. How was it going up there?
Very just celebrities all round, Matt. It was a smorgasbord of who's who of Hong Kong international and cricket actors, actresses, movie stars. It was terrific. So lots of cameras and binoculars looking up there to the VIP area. Had the pleasure of being up there for the last third of the Hong Kong Cricket Club's batting innings and got to meet some wonderful people, and especially from the government there and Cricket Hong Kong. So it was terrific to see, and massive credit to Kowloon Cricket Club who put on a wonderful event today. Stands and covering all around, and thank you very much to Hong Kong that's put on a beautiful day as Adil Mahmood, a former opening bowler for Kowloon Cricket Club, comes in to Rory Cox.
And Rory Cox is hitting over mid-off for a great shot. That's going to go 1, 2, 3 bounces, 4 runs. Adil Mahmood getting a little bit full there, and Rory Cox just flicking it over mid-off for a much-needed boundary to get him underway.
And really, that's all you need to do in the power play. No need to slog, just play good cricket shots, and that was really just a good extension of a cover drive there.
Can I say, Matt, I wouldn't have gone with Adil here. I would have gone with the Brett Long factor, the right arm off spinner against Rory. I don't think he plays the off spin nearly as.
And that's a better shot. And that is a better shot there on the up through cover, running away, but a fantastic bit of fielding there on the boundary, and they'll come back for 3 runs.
Superb placement there from Cox.
Wow.
Quite a heavily guarded offside there, and he found the gap beautifully.
And I did send a message to Elliot's cricketer before the game. I said Rory Cox loves to carve them through cover, but obviously might have ignored that message, Matty. But I do think that we might only see 1 over from Adil here, and before you bring on Kinchit Shah from the other end. I definitely would do that against Rory Cox, who plays the pace beautifully, and he's off to a very quick 9 of only a few balls there. With Adil coming into his arse.
Well, that was by no means a half volley. That was hit on the up through cover, beautifully struck by Rory Cox there, the elegant left-hander. As we can see, bowler talking to Kinchit Shah there. It looks like a mid-on.
I don't think that's Nizakat.
Sorry, it's Nizakat Khan coming across, offering some advice to Adil Mahmood as he comes into bowl here to Azaz Khan. And that looks like it's going to be caught. Oh, but it's just bounced short of mid-on.
Well, they're the half chances you need to take. He came in quickly, Nizakat. Well bowled there by Adil.
Now, we often call them the parachutes, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure he could have got to that
I don't think he could have got to it, to be honest.
No, he came in well. He's worked hard. He's just had a wonderful innings, so he's probably a little bit stiff in the joints. And as we have Charlie Wallace right in front of us wearing number 13.
Sporting a headband today, Charlie Wallace. Obviously just worried about the sweat in the eyes.
Well bowled. That's a better spot.
Now, it's really been the English bowlers several months ago who sort of kicked off this fashion statement.
Stuart Broad, I think.
Stuart Broad
led the way, yeah.
Absolutely.
There was a team of headbands.
A lot of head. What's your view, mate? You're one who's never worried about breaking the mould and getting yourself out there.
I personally am a little bit more of a traditionalist. I like the old school handshake. I don't like this high five hand slap stuff.
No.
I like to go in there for the strong handshake.
Strong handshake. Even in these COVID times where you're fist pumping.
Well, I'm a hand sanitizer too, David, so I'll make sure before I go the handshake I've sanitised thoroughly.
Very good. That's what we like to see here. Well bowled. Good areas. Nice comeback there from Adil. Umpire officiating there, Ian Thompson, and a square leg almost on the boundary, John Prakash.
He's really not going to get hit there, is he, David?
He's very safe there.
And he's going to have eagle eyes, but I tell you, he's very good at giving the run out, Johnny. He's made some wonderful decisions this season in Saturday and Sunday League.
Absolutely.
And,
Eagle eye.
Eagle eye, John Prakash, as a deal comes in to Rory Cox there.
And this one's cut away through, and it's a brilliant bit of fielding. Brilliant bit of fielding there by Scrivener in the point region as they scamper through for a single to bring an end to the second over of the innings. The score has moved on to
16.
a none for 16. Absolutely.
And that was Elliot Scrivener fielding there, the Premier League captain. A couple of years ago, he wasn't even in the Premier League. 2 years later, he's captain as Isaac Poole, the Tasmania, stepped down after 4 to 5 years of wonderful captaincy and leadership. And he was the last leader of Hong Kong Cricket Club that won the 2020 Premier League, or finished the top and won that a couple of years ago, featuring Mark Wright. Unfortunately, Mark has decided not to play anymore, not playing as much these days. He just had twins. We wish them all the best as well. Hopefully, we might see Righty come back in the next year or two, because he's always exciting to see him play. One of the hardest hitters in Hong Kong cricket. Probably hits it as hard as Martin Coetzee, and you can't say that about many players, Matt Stiller.
No, he's a fantastic player, and a former director of Cricket Hong Kong was Mark Wright. As that one is flayed away, but played and missed outside the off stump, just missing the outside edge there. And Charlie Waller's getting a fair bit of bounce through there, Matt.
Yeah, he is. He's hitting the deck. A few wayward ones in that first over, but should be nice and warmed up now, and look forward to this contest.
Yeah, look, I mean,
Cox certainly looks on today.
We have spoken about the sweatband. There could be an element of keeping that fairly long, flowing hair out of the eyes, David.
Absolutely. Well, when he bowled the other day, I'm pretty sure he touched his hair over 100 times, so it's probably for the best that he's got the headband on. Arun will get that in nice and quickly. We send a big shout out to our keeper behind the stumps. Didn't get a bat today, which is surprising. He's the Scorpions, Hong Kong Cricket Club Scorpions captain. Bats beautifully, wonderful keeper, Rory Kane. Shout out to his parents, Eilish and Simon, who are watching at home there in the UK.
Movie songs, got any intel?
What is he like? He wouldn't give me too much. He just told me that in 5 years' time he'll be a CEO. So he wouldn't get. I think he thought that I had enough information on himself that he didn't need to say anything. But I do know his favourite movie is The Notebook. That's it. One of yours, Matty, favourites like The Notebook?
Look, I think I've watched it. Yeah, I might have been roped in by the wife to potentially sit down and watch that one. Gosling, is that not the Gosling one?
That's a Gosling one.
Yeah, so I know that. So I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
Maybe you're a bit more like Kinshit Shah, who loves the Avengers. Are you an Avengers fan or not?
I am an Avengers fan, mate. I'm a superhero at heart. Yeah, no.
Absolutely. The way you batted yesterday was a bit superhero-like. Matty, that was what we thought of the Hong Kong Cricket Club as you faced Ayush, who was bowling absolute gas at 140 kilometres an hour.
And that one's pulled away hard behind square for 4. That went like a tracer bullet, Matthew.
Yes, it did, and the bowler's got to be very, very careful here. He doesn't get too short, because it appears Azaz is really looking for that one, and he's starting to hit the ball powerfully.
And we can hear from our KCC Pavilion balcony, the guys obviously have taken on a few fluids today, and the chance is starting to come thick and fast for Azaz Khan there.
There's been talk of a Mexican wave kicking off here in the second innings, so that remains to be seen.
Fantastic.
Will you be starting at Matty Collins, or someone else?
Anything's possible, mate. As he goes again.
Fielded there by Jack Meadows. Jack Meadows played rugby yesterday, and he's playing Premier League cricket today. He's obviously a wonderful athlete.
Talented, sounds like a very talented individual.
Absolutely. I'll tell you a story about Jack Meadows. He turned up in an under-14 game, he forgot his whites, and he spent the game playing in jorts or jean shorts. Obviously not at the Hong Kong Cricket Club. We wouldn't put up with that kind of rubbish, and neither here at Kowloon Cricket Club.
Absolutely. No, we're.
I can only imagine what a person wearing jean shorts looks like for 30 odd overs in an under-14 game. Would have been a bit surprising. Oh, well bowled.
Yes, just cramping in for room there.
He's very laconic batsman, isn't he, Rory Cox? Just very much at ease with his game. His bat looks about 3 pounds 5, but I'm sure it's not that heavy.
No, he's certainly one to watch, and I know he's been training with the national squad and playing in these intra Hong Kong games, and he's been doing quite well there. So certainly one to look at. He obviously has been in Hong Kong actually for about 4 years now.
Has he? I didn't
know
that.
But he only came to cricket last season, so he'd previously doing some charity work and some mission work actually for free, helping the sort of more underprivileged of Hong Kong. So not only a fantastic cricketer, but a fantastic person.
Yeah, so he's a delight to play with and against, no question there. And not surprisingly, the captain has turned to the right arm off spin. We did call it here in the commentary box, didn't we, Matt?
You called it, David.
You called it, David. This is not your first radio, mate.
Yeah, so we call it the Brett Long effect, and we do feel he's got a real issue against right arm off spin bowling. I have mentioned that to Rory. He knows. He goes, "Have you met Brett Long in the commentary?" I haven't. But he's not playing. He's sitting over there with Liam Ginnivan and Quinton Painter and Dan Klein, a lot of the Hong Kong Cricket Club captains. Tommy Ingram there, he would have told you all about his knee. Unlucky for the big fella. Big job here Kinchit Shah bowling to his captain. Now we've turned it around here. Before it was captain to vice captain. Now it's vice captain to captain. Kinchit Shah to Azaz Khan. Oh, he's bowled a no ball.
Oh wow,
Oh,
what
you
a
can't
start.
be doing that.
I mean, we saw 4 or 5 of these in the KCC innings, and now we've seen another one from a spinner. Inexcusable that the spinners would bowl a no ball first ball.
Exactly. They need early wickets. They need to tie down the runs here. They did it they did it with a score of only 130 odd in the preliminary game, and they tied down the runs early on. But KCC off to a good start here. Azaz Khan will be looking to bomb this into the bowls area.
Oh, it's well bowled there actually, very well bowled. A lot quicker through the air. Cramped him up and he could only knock it to mid-off for a single. So
Now, we were at commentary when we said the Brett Long effect, right arm off spin to Rory Cox, and he knocked him over pretty well the next ball. Rory will be aware of that. He hasn't got many weaknesses. This is where Hong Kong Cricket Club thinks he's got his weaknesses here. Right arm off spin coming in to his pads and taking it away. He prefers the pace. Rory's really got a chance to really quash those rumours and innuendos that basically I've been spreading that here.
Yeah, I mean, Kinchit, obviously an ex-KCC player, doesn't actually spin the ball a huge amount.
No.
More goes on with the arm. So I believe he had him out at HKCC bowled, looking for one that was going to spin a little bit more, and it came back through the gate. So hopefully for his sake, he's learnt a little bit from that.
Oh.
As he plays and miss out sort of stuff, expecting a little bit less turn.
The way Kinchit Shah said it, pitched outside leg hit at the top of off. According to Rory Cox, he just missed a dead straight one. But who's to say? We call that the Roy Lamson effect. We're never sure who's out and how he's out. He doesn't like to say that he's out, Roy Lamson, does he, Matty?
Roy's never out. I think I mentioned in the commentary earlier. Yeah, he had his off stump removed yesterday and wasn't out. So. G'day to him up at the VIP. I'm sure he's enjoying his day up there today. As that one's whipped away, and that will be fielded by Martin Kutsia, donning number 77.
So I'm not sure the story behind that. Maybe he's averaging 77 so far this season. Might even be changing his number every time. It would have back down to the 60s after today's effort, where he was well worked out again by Jay Davidson for the second time. Kinchit Shah, the vice captain of the national side, bowling to Azaz, the captain there, and we've got the coach of the national side, Trent Johnson, watching on keenly here. Well bowled. Oh, excellent running between the wicket. Already you can see the difference between Hong Kong Cricket Club and Kowloon Cricket Club as the running between wickets. I thought Kowloon Cricket Club fielded brilliantly, Matty Collins, but they also the running between the wickets wasn't probably at its peak for the Hong Kong Cricket Club.
No, certainly I think, but particularly in the early part of Nizakat's innings, he was sitting on his heels a little bit at the bowler's end and really not looking for those ones, and it did hold the innings back somewhat, but obviously he finished with a flurry to put Hong Kong Cricket Club in a nice position at the change of innings. So, but look, it's all to do here for the KCC. It's a good start, it's a solid start without sort of getting away.
Yeah, none for 26 from 4 overs, so a little bit behind the scoring rate, but that most important column, the wickets column, is still empty for their sake.
What are the bats they're using out there? A lot of no badges, no faces. What's going on there, Matt? Are they looking for sponsors or?
Well, I've actually got a good story about Azaz's bat. So I believe he got one from Farouk Saeed.
Okay.
So Farouk
he's up there in
one.
the VIPs.
Yeah.
Must have snuck in the back door. Do you
No,
think?
he's a cricket committee member.
member.
He's a committee member. So he didn't like the one that he had, and Azaz really took a liking to it. So I think they did a little bit of swapsy, and they've ended up with each other's bats. So he's quite happy with this one.
Very good. There's no doubt for quite a period of time, New Balance seemed to be the bats of choice, and we see that Alex Shepherd and Matt Lyons, two guys who use and promote the New Balance. They're in Queensland tuning in. We send them the best, and we send also Ronak Kapoor. He's down there. He loves the New Balance, but no badge there. We'll have to maybe if he makes a big 100 here. Azaz might have a badge on it by the end of the day. Do you think, Matty?
Well, yeah. I mean, look, I'm sure the sponsors around the world are lining up to get someone like Azaz on their list. As Haroon Arshad, also sporting a sweatband, comes into bowl.
Oh!
And that's a fantastic delay. That looked like an absolute jaffa. Azaz Khan on the walk looked to play down the line, and it seemed away from him and beat the outside edge. What a start.
Haroon, one of the big four that's come to the Hong Kong Cricket Club. Nizakat Khan, Martin Kurtzia, of course, Ardit, and also Haroon. 4 big signings. Ardit a little bit unlucky to miss out today. He's got a big job to do. He missed out with the bat. Really needs to perform, Matty Collins.
Yeah, look, it's a very interesting part of the game right here. You just feel like something's got to give. either a wicket or a boundary.
That's going to be 4. That's going to be 4 from Azaz Khan. Haroon got a little bit short, got into the body, and Azaz pulled it away, I should say, in front of square.
He just loves him in that area. We've seen him intimate he wants to hit the ball in that area. It's a relatively short boundary there today, so really the bowler needs to watch his line and length there.
A little bit of information coming through from our fans and watching around the world, Matty, is the headband actually is not perhaps from a sports shop. It's perhaps off the bottom of his pants. He just cut off the bottom of his pants, tied around his head. He said, "Boys, I'm ready to go. Give me a chance to knock over Azaz Khan." That's what we're hearing as he comes into his captain for the national side. Well, a bit full, but it's okay. Just below the waist there, Ian Thompson at square leg, unmoved, picked up by Jack Meadows, throwing it in there to Rory Keynes as it comes back around the field there to Nizaket Khan, Ryan Buckley. Haroon a little bit off the mark here, needs to step up as one of the senior bowlers for the Hong Kong Cricket Club.
Yeah, he's been very successful for Hong Kong in his short career so far, making the switch from Little Siloam Cricket Club last year to the Hong Kong Cricket Club, and he's been a very, very valuable inclusion for the Hong Kong Cricket Club side this year, along with the other names you mentioned. An interesting one from our side was Adit Gorawara, a previous KCC junior and player here, making the trip across. Played in the first few games, but has missed out on selection. David, what's the story there?
He's right around the mark. A talented young player, worked very, very hard with the coaches, with his father. Father's a wonderful supporter. Works very hard with Trent Johnson in the national side. He's right around the mark. We feel that he's probably best suited for the 50-over cricket in the 2 days, but there's no question that he's right around the mark. Does strike it very, very well. So there are a few guys. Martin Booster unlucky, Ninad unlucky, Rahul Sharma unlucky, and definitely Arda was the other one to miss out. And of course you've got a bunch of wonderful players such as Alex Nash, Ben Zanel, and others who are chomping at the bit to get themselves into the 50-over Premier League or the 2-day Fincher Shield coming up on December 5th and 6th between KCC and Hong Kong Cricket Club.
Yes, looking forward to that one as that's
Gotta get
pulled
down
straight here,
Well
and a
done,
fantastic
Ryan
bit of
Buckley.
fielding by Ryan Buckley.
A lot of courage from the great man. He's had a bad back for the last couple of weeks. Missed last week. He looked a bit ginger. I don't know if he's had the injection. I don't think he's had injection in his back. I think he's playing through the pain. That's what we expect from our head coaches here at the Hong Kong Cricket Club.
A fantastic bit of fielding there by Ryan Buckley.
Save 4.
Yep, saved a certain boundary from Rory Cox, who pulled straight. I do love a straight pull shot, working your angles.
I did ask a bunch of the Hong Kong Cricket Club players what their favourite shot. Most of them said a shot straight over the bowler's head. There weren't many of those today though, Matthew.
No. I mean, Nazarket, not really his sort of game. He tends to go over cover and point. He had a few away today as Haroon comes in, and Rory Cox goes big, and that's 6 runs just in front of our commentary tent here. That got into his arc, and Rory Cox has just dispatched it over mid-wicket for a massive 6.
Very clean hit there from Cox, and he'd be well aware of the need to take advantage of the bowling at this short end, and that was just a little over-pitched and just hit through the line.
I do think he wants to take advantage of not facing right arm off spin around the wicket, Matthew.
Well, that might be the case as well.
But he's got his chance to quash those rumours and put me back in my box today, Matthew Still and Matthew Collins. Not that he's thinking about any of us in the commentary box today, but he does see Brett Long on the sidelines, who has had his great
What
shot.
a shot. What a bit of
Great
fielding.
piece of fielding. Run out opportunity. Went through it to the wrong end. Who was that? That was Kinchit Shah. He's a man that works very, very hard on his fitness. He's a wonderful fielder. Both him and his brother saved a guaranteed 4. Beautiful shot there by Rory Cox. You've got to do that because that's what Kowloon Cricket Club did well in their innings. They fielded well.
Well, that's an end to the 5th over there, 4th over, I should say. Sorry.
5th over, I believe.
That is 5 gone. Sorry, that is 5 gone. It is none for 37.
And it could have just as easily been none for 45. 2 boundary saves. One firstly from Ryan Buckley and secondly from Kinchit Shah. Certain boundaries and some terrific fielding there.
Well, I think in the pre-game, our head coach Trent Johnston mentioned the best fielding team would win today, and the team that batted the best or took advantage of the power play would also have a very good chance today. So 5 overs gone, none for 37. Obviously, the key thing, as we mentioned earlier, is the 0 wickets. That's what will excite KCC and their fans up on the boundary cafe today.
If you needed quick runs at KCC, who do you think you'd throw in? Who would be the player to, apart from these two, if you were way behind the run rate, who would be the player you'd throw in?
I personally wouldn't change it. Jamie Atkinson's due to come in next, and that one's hit to point for no run. Yeah, look, Jamie Atkinson is capable of getting on with it himself and is also maybe arguably the best player. So personally, I would keep Jamie Atkinson in at number 3. He'll come in and play his game. If it's there, he'll try and hit it. But to answer your question, if they were going to change it, maybe someone like a Wakas Barkat
Yes, Wacko sits it well.
who sometimes floats in that sort of middle order.
What about the Professor?
Look, the Professor's probably more not what you're looking for in terms of getting on with it. He's more of a consolidatory sort of batsman. Is capable.
Ash Caddy can hit a long ball.
Absolutely, and a left-handed option.
I'm going to throw one in there. I'm going to throw one out there, Mr. Varley. The Namibian Nightmare.
The Namibian Nightmare
has very, very long levers and can hit the ball a long way. So if we were getting down towards the skinny side of things here, he wouldn't be the worst to throw in.
Yeah, look, he's certainly an option as Azar's leant back. Kinshit Shah getting a little bit too short, a little bit too much width, and cut away to point for a much needed boundary for KCC. Yeah,
fast hands, Matty, wasn't it? Fast hands out to the offside.
Yeah, absolutely. He's certainly been informed this year, Azaz Khan, and going to be a key to the match today for KCC.
We're wasting, Hong Kong Cricket Club are wasting overs at.
That might have been out.
No, I don't think so.
We're wasting overs not bowling at Rory Cox. We need to get the off spinner at Rory Cox. We think that's the big.
You are onto this today, David.
You are all over it.
Well, I just say that Brett Long, the right arm off spinner, has got him out 3 times already this year, and Kinshit's got him once. So you can only go on his. Apart from that, I think he's been almost unbeatable, Rory Cox. So that's the opportunity. That's too short.
And that's another bit of great fielding.
Good fielding by the New Zealander, the captain Elliot Scribner. Massive shout out to his family there, and also the students in North Anglia International School and his friends at Huskarls. They're watching in the UK and watching in New Zealand. They're enjoying their cricket as a big supporter of the Premier League players. Now here's what I asked for, Matty. A right arm off spinner coming round the wicket at Rory Cox. What's Rory Cox going to answer with here?
Yeah, look, I mean, if your stats are correct, and I'm sure they are, you do a lot of research, David, it looks like he might just try and see this out, And he has.
He has.
I mean, it's like we know what's going to happen before it happens, David. And that'll be the end of the power play, the 6 overs. So the score has moved on to a none for 42, going at 7 and over. So on par with the run rate at this stage, and a very solid start by KCC in reply to this 146 runs for victory.
Yes, you'd certainly take that start, Matty, and these next few overs are going to be really, really crucial. Is it a question that these guys really start to get onto it now that they've sort of had 10, 15, 18 balls under their belt, or can Hong Kong Cricket Club grab a wicket, begin to pull that run rate back, and really exert some pressure on the Kowloon boys?
And we have some comparisons here on the power play. Hong Kong Cricket Club were 1 for 34 at the end of their power play with 23 dots, 3 boundaries and a 6. KCC none for 42, slightly ahead on both fronts. Only 17 dots, 4 boundaries and 1 6. So
very good. So we've got Adil Mahmood. So KCC definitely in front at this stage. No wickets lost. The dangerous Azaz Khan's still there. So Adil Mahmood, the guy who played for the Hong Kong Nationals team, born in Pakistan, got a wicket first ball against Western Australia. The whacker got out Darcy Short in the past, pretty good wicket, and he's also has hit Rashid Khan for 6. Not many players hit Rashid Khan for 6, and for a guy who normally bats at 10-11, that's pretty good as he comes in to Azaz Khan here. Well, down leg side,
might be a wide.
Good piece of keeping by Rory Keynes there.
Yeah, beautiful take there by Rory Keynes. Fantastic footwork down the leg side. Set himself and took it one-handed. Brilliant to save some additional runs. So Adil Mahmood just getting a little bit straight there and swinging down the leg side. Needs to readjust his line.
I think Azaz Khan might look to go after him here. Short end. I've just got a feeling he might be looking to up the ante here a little bit.
Absolutely. Hong Kong Cricket Club desperately needs a wicket here.
And that's going to be 6 runs. Maybe 4, and it's 6. Ian Thompson at square leg, signalling to John Prakash. That one carried short and into the wicket. Azaz Khan coming towards, pulls it.
And umpire Ian Thompson getting into the game for the first time really here today, Matty. He's normally really right there in the thick of things.
We haven't seen Ian Thompson a lot today, and you know what they say about umpires. If you don't notice them, they've had a good game. So
absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely. Bit short there, it needs to be a bit fuller. What do you think?
Well, what I've found with Adil, I played a lot against him throughout the years, and because of his height, I sometimes feel he tends to be very full or very short. You know, he doesn't hit that probably hard length. See, that's short again, and that's just smashed
That's
away.
powerfully struck there
That
from
is,
Azaz Khan.
I mean, if you're a spectator over there on the AstroTurf practice wickets, I'd be looking out at the moment because Azaz Khan is ready to go. He is ready to explode.
Yeah, that was a crowd killer there, Matty. Hit with enormous power and picked the gap beautifully.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think he's a little bit worried about pitching it up and being hit to the short boundary straight as the captain Elliot Scrivener comes across to him and said, "Oh, what are we going to do here?" But I think with his height, he probably needs to be a bit fuller than that, doesn't he?
Certainly does.
Yeah, and we saw from Jay Davidson, even Charlie Wallace earlier in the hitting that hard length and also changing your pace. So rolling your fingers across it, not being predictable in terms of how quick it's coming, is important definitely from this end. And he's tried to go again, but mistimes it through to mid-wicket and a shy at the stumps for no run. So a little bit fuller on that occasion, wasn't quite as short as the last two, and hitting it certainly a better length for Adil Mahmood.
Certainly looking to get after him here, Matty. Certainly made his intentions well and truly clear here at the short end. Let's see what the bowler can muster up here.
Yeah, Azaz Khan really the talisman of this KCC side.
That's better. A little bit fuller, put the pressure back on. Azaz well bowled. He's getting a lot of the strike here, Azaz Khan. Not as much for the David Gower of the Kowloon Cricket Club in Rory Cox. What kind, when you played Matty Collins, who did they think you were like? Who did you bat like?
Maybe a little boony.
A little boony.
Maybe stature-wise might have helped that as well, mate. But
what about yourself, Matty Stiller? You played a lot of cricket.
Batting wise, Trent Bolt probably comes to mind. Curtly Ambrose batted a bit like him. Caught him Walsh.
You can't say that when a man got 77 well bowled and won the game yesterday for Kowloon Cricket Club in the Saturday League.
No, I actually held an interesting record in grade cricket. I played a fair bit of grade cricket in Perth, Australia, and I never hit a grade 6.
Really?
Never ever hit a grade 6. So only ever hit boundaries. And I would argue that's because I hit them on the ground, but the truth of the matter is I probably need to go to a gym.
Yes. Similar to myself, Matt, I've been here 14 years on the smallest rounds of world cricket and hit 2 6s in 14 seasons. It's excellent running, well played by Rory.
Great running
that's very good running
Rory Cox. You and I, Matt, we don't mind a dot ball, but you probably don't enjoy one as much as I do. Matt.
No, but David, I do remember a game last year. I think you hit a 6 off your first ball, but it didn't come in a conventional way. Can you tell us about that?
It didn't. I came in and just tucked it to leg side first ball for 2, and as I was ambling through the wickets, they tried to run us out, and it overthrows for 4, so 6 off the first ball, which is people around the world couldn't believe who weren't watching it, who just saw a 6 off the first ball, didn't think it was possible. And of course, when they
scoreboard malfunction.
Scoreboard malfunction or some. I think most people actually predicted there was an overthrow. There was no way I was hitting the first ball or the last ball for 6, Matt. That's for sure.
Yeah, great.
So,
and we're going to see Kinshit Shah continue here, bowling his third over. Who's the batter? Who's the
Rory Cox?
No, who's the bowler?
The Brett Long.
The Brett Long approach. So let's see whether this pays fruit for HKCC, who now really desperately need a wicket.
Absolutely, they've pushed mid-off back. I would be inclined to attack here against Rory Cox, try and get a few dots and get him to really hit out. Yeah, that's so you don't want. Let him off the. I would have liked to see him force him to take a risk and hit over the top on the leg side. I think we missed a slight trick there. Azaz Khan in very nice touch. 7 overs, none for 56. Just a little bit quiet in the Hong Kong Cricket Club players around the field. They need a wicket here just to get a bit of energy and passion going, don't they, Matt?
Yeah, things seem a little flat out there. They need a wicket to give them a bit of get up and go.
If they get a wicket here, I'll definitely lift here in the commentary box.
I'm
don't
sure
worry
you
about that.
will, Vales.
Yes, but we're a long way away from a wicket here as Kinshit comes in, well played, just working and milking the singles beautifully, not taking any risks, but it does get Rory Cox back on strike, and I'm pleading to Elliot Scrivener, can he get mid-off up and put the pressure on him? I don't want him off the strike. I'd like to see a few dot balls at Rory Cox. Is that unfair, Matt Collins?
No, that's fair and reasonable. But let's see how he goes here. Look, at the end of the day, Kowloon don't need to do anything silly with the bowling from this end. Look, if they can take things at that end to say 5 or 6 and over, and then look to sort of score 8 to 10 and over from the shorter end, that's enough.
Yeah, great bit of fielding out there by Luke Jones. Ran around quickly and fight it in, but well placed by Rory Cox, brings him back for 2 runs. Yeah,
He times the ball beautifully, Rory, doesn't he? Especially through the offside. And I
Also
think-
a Durham University first class player.
Okay.
Played a little bit with Jamie Atkinson around about that. I think a couple of years younger than Jamie Atkinson, but in that sort of mould. And that one again tucked away into the leg side for the easiest of single. He'll be happy with that just at the moment.
Absolutely.
Smart cricket there, just taking the one, getting himself off strike, not allowing any pressure to build up.
Yeah, so I would like to just get a little shout out to Tom Heisinger, who batted very well yesterday for the
did.
KCC Crusaders
Heisenberg.
and got them over the line. He's sporting a KCC jacket today called the Candy Cane.
And a goatee as well.
Yeah, questionable, but there was an interesting law of, as that one just worked away for another single, there's an interesting law thing. So he was basically on 46 yesterday and we required 1 run to win.
Yes.
And he pulled it away to the boundary but completed the 1 run before the ball hit the boundary. So was only awarded 1 run instead of the 4 and denied him from a 50.
Really?
He was that selfish, he wanted me to launch an investigation with Cricket Hong Kong into whether or not that was correct. So shout out to Tom Heisinger for selfish behaviour.
Oh, well, that's interesting cricket there at Kowloon Cricket Club. Had a good win against the Witherers. Poor old Lukey Voices. Witherers stacked full of talent with Nash, Zano, Ardit, Maha, Gino, Jake McCauley, and plenty of absolute stars. As we say hello to Tom.
And Tommy's looking at us here, not happy with that kill. He's raising the bat for his 50. He's already put it down, but unfortunately, Tommy, them's the laws, mate.
Absolutely. Another, he couldn't get the job done against the Stewie Toehill Gap Ramblers. Another guy fell down to the Stewie Toehill Gap
He
Ramblers.
did, yeah. He batted very well in that game as well, though, I think for 50 or 60. So
Yeah, he made a good 50, but it wasn't enough from the Tommy Heisenberg.
it was, and we've got after 8 overs, just a little comparison here. Hong Kong Cricket Club were 1 for 53. KCC, obviously, as we can see, none for 62. So a very close run thing here at the moment. I think this was about the time, off the top of my head, when HKCC started to lose a few wickets.
Well, also, yeah, they did. They started to lose a few wickets before Kinshid and Nizakat put on a reasonably handy partnership.
Absolutely. So a lot of these stats are coming in from our the Hong Kong national coach Trent Johnson. For those of you who don't know, Trent played 199 games for Ireland, 60 games as captain, 5 World Cups, 273 wickets for Ireland, putting him 5th on the all-time Ireland list as Haroon comes in to Rory Cox. Oh, and on the runs,
the Phillies missed out there, Cox. That was short and wide and really should have been dealt with. It was a boundary begging.
Absolutely. Made Trent Johnson 2,680 runs, puts him 18th on the Ireland all-time runs list. But those of you, the Pakistan listeners around the world, would recognise Trent. He hit the winning runs at Ireland, beat Pakistan in the 2007 World Cup, and he's another one who's been Stewie Toehill as well. Got bamboozled by the 50-year-old.
As Haroon comes in, and that's knocked towards point for a single, and a great bit of backing up there by Elliot Scribner, who looks around ruefully at his fielder, asking, did not need that.
Did not need that at all.
Guys, we mentioned earlier, Hong Kong Cricket Club did start to struggle from this stage on, but the next 4 overs, Hong Kong Cricket Club could only manage 8 runs. So that's where, and I'm sure there was a few wickets involved in that little period as well. So KCC will certainly be looking to go a little bit better than the Cricket Club did in that sort of 4-over block.
Absolutely. As Haroon showed, really needs to grab a wicket here or bowl a couple of dot balls. Azaz Khan well on top. Well bowled.
And he's
Ball's
hit
over
the
there.
deck again. And
That's just terrible cricket.
and that's going to be a bye, I think.
That is going to be
It's a bye. So Rory Kane's trying to...
trying to manufacture a wicket. There's nothing wrong with that. Key, but we can't be giving up. One other last Trent Johnson fact for you, Matt Still and Matt Collins. He's one of only 4 Ireland cricketers taken a hat-trick. Have you, Matt Collins and Matt Still, taken a hat-trick before?
I have not. I don't think I've ever taken 3 wickets before, David. to be
No,
honest,
not for mine.
You would have been on the end of a hat-trick or something at one stage, Matt Collins, Matt Still?
I've actually dropped a hat-trick catch when
Have
I
you?
was in under 13s. I was standing at second slip and shelled one.
Oh.
I can tell you, I copped a spray from the 11-year-old bowler.
He probably hasn't forgiven you now, has he?
Exactly, as that one's guided down to third man for a single from Rory Cox. Yeah, that was for the old Hammersley Kareen under 11 black side, under 13 black side. So yeah, drop the hat-trick catch. Still getting death threats to this day.
Still poached out of there. They saw some talent and brought you through. Did they, Matt? Were you identified in the national pathway or not?
I think I played a little bit of that zone sort of carnival stuff when we were young. We actually played a lot of school cricket in Perth, so I went to a school called Hale, who's
Hale?
part of the
Good school.
Private School Association.
Very good school.
Private Schools Association. as Azaz tries to swing that away to mid-wicket, and the fielder running round will keep it to 2, Jack Metters.
An excellent running there from the KCC boys. No hesitation whatsoever in coming back to the second.
Absolutely, and so mainly school cricket for us when we were growing up through that sort of thing, and then into the under-17 sort of state squads and zone carnivals and all that. But
Very
yeah,
good.
quickly
Are you retired now?
I quickly fell out of those.
Are you retired now from international cricket, Matt, or are you still available? Trent Johnson to pick you if he gets desperate at one stage.
Well, I haven't officially retired on Facebook, so I don't know if that means it's official or not. But
Has anyone else retired on Facebook in recent times?
Look, in Hong Kong, I don't know if anyone in Hong Kong. This is probably a shout out to a few mates in Australia. There's a couple of indoor cricketers that have retired 9 or 10 times.
I think Scott McKechnie retired.
Oh, he did. Sorry, yeah. I apologise. Scotty did. Scotty, now the current director of cricket at Singapore Cricket Club, and doing very well over there with them.
He's got a new app called Play, I believe. Is that correct?
Play Sport, PLAI, Play Sport.
Go and have a look at that one. I haven't seen much for myself, but I'm hearing some good things, Matt.
Yeah, we've looked into it here at KCC, and it looks like it's going to be a great cricket management, sport management tool. We can use it for cricket here, but available to a whole host of sports. So certainly one to look out for. And if you are looking as a sports club to get involved in some cricket administration in terms of apps and helping with your payments and online attendance and player communication, I suggest to hit them up. So at the end of 9 overs, guys, we're none for 68. KCC looking right on top. Elliot Scrivener, captain of Hong Kong Cricket Club, will come into the attack.
So he's captain. His first year as captain. He made a wonderful 100 last year in the Hancock Shield, batting at number 8. So
Played that game.
He's got wonderful memories of this ground here. His friends call him Pidge because apparently he looks like Glenn McGrath, they reckon. It's nice and full. Got to get that one in quickly here. I asked him if he could be anyone for a day. He said he'd like to be Donald Trump. He'd like to know what's going on in that brain. So we won't say anything there. We'll probably leave that one alone. Favourite movie, Shawshank Redemption, which I believe is Australia's favourite film.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic film. I'm a huge fan.
Is that Tim Robbins?
Morgan Freeman.
Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins, Morgan Freeman, absolutely. His parents are Graham and Irene are watching in here. We send them the best in New Zealand as he comes in to Rory Cox.
And that's swung away there behind square. Fielder coming around. Fantastic bit of fielding there by Haroon Arshad on the boundary. Prevents 3 runs. Safe 3 runs with that bit of fielding.
And isn't it interesting? The ball's now spinning into it where you can see Rory Cox much more comfortable. And credit to him, he didn't take a lot of strike against Kinship, but he got through nicely. He batted sensibly. And when you're none for 70 and after 9 overs, can't say anything against Rory Cox, and Azaz has done a great job. Nice and full. There's milking the singles, taking no risk. Going to leave plenty of wickets in hand to have a dash at the end. KCC well on top. What has Hong Kong Cricket Club got to do here, Matt Collins?
They need some wickets. Wickets will stem the run flow, and they've just got to put it into this partnership and just slowly walk themselves back into this game. It's not over by any way, shape or form. 1 wicket can bring 2, and get some new batsmen out here and build some pressure up. Anything can happen. We saw in the Hong Kong Cricket Club innings when there was consecutive wickets, it really put a huge brakes on the scoring. So that's what they need to do here. And that one's whipped away as well, down to short fine, and that one has gone for 4.
So we can see here Rory Cox, he's targeting the short leg side, west side.
The west side.
The
That
west
was
side.
Ali was from the west side, wasn't he?
was.
Yes.
So was I think Snoop Doggy's from the west side.
Snoop
wasn't he?
Doggy Dog, yeah.
Or was he Snoop Lion? He's not Snoop Lion. He went back to Snoop Dogg.
Is it? Right. But you can see his plan here. He's going to target that short boundary with the ball spinning inside of him. Wouldn't surprise me if he went again here. And that one's hit over cover towards mid-off for a single. They will not come back. Great bit of fielding there by Zakir Khan, and Haroon Arshad cleans up. And that's an end to the 10th over, so we now are at the halfway point of this match, this Premier League final in fact. The score is 76 for the loss of no wickets. So guys, how do you see it?
Well, certainly advantage KCC. It's their title to lose them here, really. None for 76 off 10. It's been a great start, but as mentioned earlier, there's still a long way to go. So, the Hong Kong Cricket Club really, they've got to find a way to get some wickets, because that's really the only way that they're going to start to be able to curb this run.
Luke Jones is going to be key here.
Yeah,
Luke Jones
so,
has been
good call.
He's taken some very, very key wickets in this competition. He's been whacked around a couple of times, especially in his fourth over, but he'll throw him up. He's a little bit of a Shane Warne-esque type of player. Very, very talented batsman and bowler. He missed out with a bat today, just really chipped out and missed out. But he's going to need to throw it up and get some wickets. Ryan Buckley, I think with his bad back, won't be able to bowl as Haroon comes in. Yeah, well bowled. Just excellent running between the wickets by KCC. Real difference between when you can see Hong Kong Cricket Club a run out here and there. They really struggle to take that single. Hong Kong Kowloon Cricket Club running beautifully between the wickets. Personally, one of my real weaknesses amongst many was running between the wickets. Matt, as you've seen out there.
Sure was, David. At the same time, at 10 overs, HKCC were 2 for 66, so a little bit behind on the runs and the wickets. That boundary from Rory Cox in the last over was the first in 20 balls. So, and a tough period came up here for the Hong Kong Cricket Club in the first innings, where they could manage only 2 wickets for 2 runs in the next 2 overs. So,
who was doing the damage there, Matt?
That was a Teak and Pascoe, and that's edged over the keeper. Looks like it might go for 4. A streaky boundary for Azaz Khan. Haroon bowling a fantastic bumper there. Azaz, all he could do was top edge it over Rory Keynes for a boundary for Azaz.
And maybe slightly lucky there for Azaz to get the top edge over the keeper, but really just not the place to be bowling, Dave.
I think they need wickets. You try and hit the stumps here. He's got a very good Yorkie. He's a great death bowler for the Hong Kong national side. Questions being asked. You can see there's a bit of tension out there in the Hong Kong Cricket Club. They need a wicket. They need to get things going here. They need to break this partnership. Azaz Khan, he was brilliant in the game against Hong Kong Cricket Club in the preliminary game. As Ryan Buckley goes back, he's going to pitch this one up clearly. Oh,
that might be out.
Chance for him. Got it.
That's out.
That's well bowled. He looks at Ian Thompson, says no. Ian says that's fine. Hong Kong Cricket Club, they desperately needed that wicket. Oh, there's a bit of the Kowloon Cricket Club on the balcony just sit down in their seats. Hong Kong Cricket Club also sitting in their seats. Obviously they expect a little bit more there. An important wicket. We saw Buckley go back. We thought this is going to be full, and they've got the key wicket of Azaz Khan. In come Mr.
Jamie Atkinson.
Also known as Rowdy. No, not known as Rowdy. Well, we know him as Rowdy.
Yeah, Jamie, look here, obviously the captain here of KCC. He'll be looking to come in and capitalise on this fantastic start by Azaz Khan and Rory Cox. The full toss undoing Azaz there, coming down the wicket, got the full toss, looking to pump it towards us here in the commentary tent, but could only succeed in skewing it off the sort of outside edge of the bat. And Ryan Buckley came round and took a pretty comfortable catch.
That is true. That is true. Critical. They need to. It's got to be a 1-2 punch here, Matt Stiller and Matt Collins. They need to get a couple of wickets here. Probably Scrivener might bowl himself one more. Does he give himself a shot here will he bring on Luke Jones? Luke Jones is going to need to take 2 or 3 wickets here.
Well, it's for me, it's won or lost in these next 2 or 3 overs. If HKCC can go bang bang, maybe add on another, 1 or 2 wickets, KCC will be on the back foot. The momentum of the innings will have changed.
I would is Kinshit Shah still got 1 over to go?
I think so.
I believe he's bowled 3.
Yeah, so I would, with my personal view here is I would give either Kinshit another over, try and knock over Rory Cox, or I would bring on Luke Jones and have a crack there. But I think Luke Jones bowls better against right-handers than he does against left-handers.
So trying to buy a wicket.
Trying to grab 1 or 2 wickets early on against Jamie, put the pressure on him. He's a very experienced campaigner, Jamie. He's been around international cricket, club cricket at a very high standard. He doesn't say much, but he lets his bat do the talking, doesn't he?
Absolutely. As Ryan Buckley and Haroon Ashar, the brains trust of the Hong Kong Cricket Club, getting together here to hatch out a plan that.
So he looks like he's going to bowl full here. My concern is the way Rory cover drives. Cover drives beautifully.
Oh, that's nearly nicked again, going past the outside edge.
Seems like he's falling over every second ball. Is he too much effort, or is he just off balance, Matt? What's going on?
Well, it's fantastic to see the effort being put in here by Haroon, really charging in for his side, trying to make something happen. He's already taken the 1 wicket, wanting to be the match winner, which, that's what you want to see.
So we see Nizakat Khan warming up. Would he have a go? Would Ryan Buckley have a go? I wouldn't have thought so. Martin Kurtzy, and he definitely doesn't bowl. So there's a lot of warming up going in the.
Maybe Nizakat Khan's just trying to send a message to the skipper. Oh, that's played and
that's
missed
a much
again.
better. It's a much better line, a much better over for Hong Kong Cricket Club here. They need a couple of dot balls to pull that run rate down, back just a touch. With only 66 to win off 9 and a bit overs, Kowloon Cricket Club well on top as we see Trent Johnson stretching out the back there, sitting in the seat. He's played a lot of cricket over the years. His body's probably not what it once used to. There's no question on that one. But he still does the job. I think he plays for Craig and Gower Cricket Club.
CCC Jingsung, yeah.
Massive signing.
Off-season transfer.
signing.
There was a huge amount of interest in that.
My understanding, he was brought in specifically to. He was brought in.
That's going to go for 4.
Overthrows.
That's hit the AstroTurf. So the ball was fired in by Kinshid Shah there from point, trying to run Jamie Atkinson out at the non-strikers end. The ball has hit the AstroTurf. It has taken off.
This is the risk, even at this level, Matt. When you throw it in hard, a deflection off the stumps or something on the ground, maybe sometimes best to hold on to the ball there.
Yeah, I mean, he sensed the opportunity to run out Jamie Atkinson without facing a ball, but unfortunately, perhaps a little bit unlucky, the ball found the AstroTurf and ballooned over Elliot Scribner, who was backing up. And then the second person backing up was Ryan Buckley, and
Correct.
even he could only get just a hand to it. And we saw 4 runs to Rory Cox.
So I believe he was a big signing for the Craig and Gower Cricket Club. Really, he was brought in to combat the Stewie Toyo effect, and he got undone by Stewie Toyo. Have you been undone by Stewie Toyo before, Matt?
I'm gonna hazard a guess and say I haven't.
You haven't?
To be honest, I believe I may have got a few runs against Stewie Tohill. 134 not out last year against the Wanderers was Stewie Tohill playing.
He might have been carrying an injury in that game, I believe. Because I think that might have been that's the Chuck Norris of the Hong Kong Cricket Club.
Yeah.
That's pretty unusual for someone to have the better over
No,
Stewie
look,
Tohill.
I don't think I actually did too much damage against Stewie Tohill. He was very economical and miserly up front, but managed to survive the threat of Stewie Tohill. And we've got a very interesting change of bowling here. Nazakid Khan has been known to bowl for Hong Kong, bowls leg spin.
Now the danger here, of course, is the strength of Jamie Atkinson, who really does like to hit over that cover area. He will take the aerial route, so he's going to have to be careful he doesn't get too full, because Jamie will certainly dispatch him if he gets into that wheelhouse.
So the thing about Nazakid Khan, you know he's going to give you a bad ball. You're going to get a bad ball.
Which is why I'm surprised. He hasn't bowled in the Premier League. I don't think he bowled last.
He's been injured, right?
He's been injured, but I don't think he bowled last week. So to bowl in front of Luke Jones has taken a lot of wickets. To bowl, let Scrivener, the captain, only bowl 1 over. It's an interesting move.
So we're hearing that in the national squad training match on Tuesday, he bowled us 4 overs and took 2 for 9. So obviously 2 overs for 9. My apologies. So obviously
That struck powerfully down to long on, and they're coming back for a second.
And well run there by Jamie Atkinson, knowing it's the long part of the ground there, took on the throw.
Yes, longest part of the ground there, Matty.
Yeah, in front of the scoreboard. So
there's a big difference between taking 2 for 9 in a practice game and 2 for 9 in a big final here at Kowloon Cricket Club, Matthew.
Absolutely, Elliot Scrivener, captain, turning to his experienced charge in Nazakid. Also, there is a little bit to say, if you get runs, give the guy the ball, it might be his day.
Well, yes, I'm not sure I agree with them, but I have heard that saying over the years, Matt. Based on that, when you got your 130 odd, they should have given you the new ball.
I couldn't move, mate.
And a big swing and a miss there from Cox. Right idea, short boundary over there.
Well, the ball's spinning back into him,
yes, indeed.
Same as Elliot Scrivener bowling those left-arm orthies. He's going to try and take on that short boundary. Don't need to get a lot of it to get full value.
But why? I do find it surprising that maybe he's concerned that Luke Jones tossed it up too much, and they want a bit more pace for the leg spinner to Coxie here. Well bowled,
and that's
4 runs. Cut away through backward point. Nazakid Khan getting a little bit short and a little bit wide, offering some width there to Rory Cox. Goes back and cuts it behind square for 4 runs.
Very classy shot there,
David
Matty.
Barley has head in hands, wondering what the decision here is to bowl Nazakid Khan.
No, not a bad ball, just beautiful cricket from Kowloon Cricket Club. Beautiful cricket from Rory Cox, moves up to 39. He's a classy individual, and as you mentioned before, Matt does a huge amount of work off the field with charity. He's clearly look at that, just fantastic. Dabs it. So Hong Kong Cricket were dabbing it to and not running, while Kowloon Cricket Club just run very well between the wickets. Jamie, for a man who's, he's a solidly built Jamie, but he runs well, doesn't he?
Yeah, look, he's very athletic, spends a lot of time in the gym, a lot of time in the pool. very good runner. Runs 5 and 10 Ks. Rates himself in that regard. Signed up to a few marathons. Not sure how many he's actually run, but he's signed up to a few.
I'm not sure what Hong Kong Cricket Club can do here. There's not one bowler who's really been the pick of them here. They're concerned about the short boundary to the clubhouse end. The pitch has been pretty good. We thought it might have been a bit up and down early on, but KCC haven't had an issue here. They've batted absolutely brilliantly. They're bringing back the headband, not the headband of Haroon, the headband of Matthew McConaughey, Charlie Wallace.
So we got a comparison here after 12 overs. KCC really starting to gap the Hong Kong Cricket Club, who were 4 for 68 at this point.
Oh.
KCC 1 for 94. So a couple of overs ago, there was only about a 10-run difference in between the two sides, but with a couple of really good overs by KCC, that gap has now increased to nearly 30.
I see the cups being brought across. It's too early, lads. It's a long way to go. They obviously they think the game might be done. I don't think so, Matthew. Your views?
No, the fat lady is definitely not warming up her larynx yet.
He's hit that really well. Fantastic shot there by Rory Cox.
Great shot for one.
Finding deep backward square leg there.
I do think in this situation, Matt, the ball's coming on nicely. I think Hong Kong Cricket Club got to pitch it up and have a go and say, well, you miss, we'll hit the stumps, get an LB, or maybe a miss hit. They hit it down the ground trying to hit a 6 there. I know it's a short boundary, but bowling short stuff here. They don't seem to have any issue whatsoever with the short stuff here at Kowloon Cricket Club. Jamie Atkinson, he hits a beautiful full shot. Rory Cox hits it lovely. Matty Collins, your view here? Would you try and pitch it up and hit the stumps?
Yeah, I think bringing Bold and LB into play, I really don't think they've got much choice. Bowling short here, I think, particularly with the two batsmen you've got at the crease who are very, very good square of the wicket players. I just don't think anything's going to come of that for them.
And then just a comparison over the last 4 overs, HKCC could only manage 15 runs, and at the same time KCC put on 34 to further highlight that discrepancy over the last little period. A few wickets lost there for HKCC as well, but it was around about this time Zakir Khan started to get going for HKC and helped them to their total of 146. And that one's defended. Fantastic running again by KCC. It's been an absolute pleasure to watch them go about their single game today, minimising the number of dot balls whilst also being able to hit those boundaries has been key to posting the total so far.
Very much so. Hong Kong Cricket Club was looking for boundaries all the time. Didn't really run well between the wickets. weren't great at rotating the strike. Kowloon Cricket Club with Azaz Khan and Rory Cox first, and now with Jamie Atkinson, they're rotating the strike absolutely beautifully.
And that's huge! That's gone onto Cox's Road. That might be in your old house, Matty Collins.
I believe that could be in the old apartment. That is huge.
That has gone over Cox's Road. I'm not joking. That hit has gone about 100 metres.
That was a monster.
That is one of the biggest hits I've ever seen.
That was a big one. Was that a slower ball, Matt, do you think?
I think it was into the wicket, but I'll tell you what, you don't bowl there to Jamie Atkinson.
And as I alluded to earlier, both of these batsmen extremely strong square of the wicket. Bowling short like this, it's just not going to go anywhere.
I mean, David Hoffman, who lives in that apartment, is probably thinking to himself, what is a cricket ball doing in my backyard?
Indeed, he might be firing up the barbecue. If he is, big shout out there to the Hoff.
I thought at one stage that was heading to Jordan MTR station. He was hitting it that far. Wasn't going to make it all the way to KCC, Hong Kong Cricket Club. You got to go across the water for that one. So
it had a beautiful trajectory on it, didn't it? It was straight over the trees. It was still going on.
Did he telegraph that one? Do you think it was in his mind when he was running into bowl or not?
Well, look, whatever happened, he lined it up and he executed and hit it straight out of the middle of the bat.
I think we asked
one
him,
of the biggest sixes.
He wouldn't tell us though, would he, Matt? Would he?
Well, I'm gonna mention that might get a mention tonight over maybe a beer or two. About how far that one went.
That was a long way.
Hit that well.
Yeah, good.
It's really, Hong Kong Cricket Club doesn't seem to have any answers here. They can't get the wickets, they can't contain the runs. There's singles at will, boundaries at will. Massive hit from Jamie. They've got a big batting order to come. It's really, I think at this stage you've got to throw Luke Jones on here and say, please throw it up. And I think as bowlers, they've got to bowl nice and full at the stump. We have got the ball back, so it hasn't been souvenired by one of the kids or by your new tenant, Matthew Collins.
I thought it may have found its way onto the 6A bus to packed in, mate. It was an enormous strike.
Yeah, but
thankfully, no damaged vehicles driving past on Cox's Road. So.
No.
But that's why we have insurance, David.
We do, and we Hong Kong Cricket Club a number of years ago when the nets weren't high enough. Hussein Butt hit 11 sixes onto the road.
Did he not hit 300 there one day?
He did hit 300 not out in a 35 over game.
And the Sunday League game the next day was cancelled, was it not?
Well, it was cancelled, and they had to, for a few weeks, they had to raise the nets because of a bunch of issues. He was a good player, Hussein Butt, wasn't he, for Pakistan?
Back in the day, and a lot of people forget he was also, before he hurt his back, he was an extremely quick bowler. Opening bowler, he had it all. I mean, you think about someone playing now like Azaz Khan, very much a player in a similar mould.
Yeah.
But he hurt his lower back, and that really impacted his ability both with bat and ball. And
who was the fastest bowler in your time, Matt, over the years? Who was the
here
fastest?
or
just in the league?
In the league, I'd probably have to say Khalid Khan. That's another big six from Jamie.
It's too short.
Great shot there from Atkinson. But no, I think, and I'm going back here probably 10 or 15 years, probably the quickest I've faced and probably the quickest I've seen here in Hong Kong. Khalid Khan from the Pakistan Association. Came in off about 15 or 20 steps. Absolute nightmare for a right-hander. He'd swing the left armour, swing the ball into the right-hander, and he was proper quick.
What about Imran Arif?
Yeah, I would say Khalid.
When he first came from Worcester cricket,
he was pretty quick.
He bowled pretty quick.
But I think Khalid might have even had a yard on him. And of course, back in the day, Afzal Haider.
Afzal, he's up in the VIP area with Montgomery Sports.
Well, certainly when he was up and about 15 years ago, he was pretty quick. I often recall seeing, keeper standing here at the KCC pretty close to the 30-yard line, so 30-yard ring. So
I've just had a cheeky message from one of the lads saying.
And it's a lovely strike down the ground from Atkinson.
Cheeky message because obviously Martin Booster Versfeld was left out of this side. Concerns about bowling from this end, and Charlie Wallace unfortunately has been given a little bit of tap, hasn't been able to get the job done from this end.
Knowing Martin Versfeld, he's very much a team man. I'm sure he'll be wishing Charlie Wallace the best to try and bounce back after that over and being hit for a few sixes.
Absolutely.
As the score has moved on to Nelson after 13 overs. 1 for 111.
36 to win off 7
42 balls.
42
yeah, no real choice here but to ring the changes and try and
still no Luke Jones.
Well, this is somewhat controversial, is it not?
So this will be Elliot Scrivener to come back into the attack.
Yes, I'm not sure that. I don't think Luke's injured. Maybe they're concerned that he can get a wicket or two, but he just goes for too many runs. I'm unsure about that one. So Elliot Scrivener, he's not a big turner of the ball, but he bowls a pretty good line and length. See how he goes here to Jamie Atkinson.
Right idea there from Atkinson with fine leg up.
They can't seem to curtail even the singles at all, can they?
Seems to be scoring off every ball at the moment, David. You're right.
Yeah, well, look, the field's quite deep on the ring, so as long as you're not hitting it too hard into that area, there's one almost every ball.
There's literally a one, and they need to find a way to grab a wicket, or maybe grab a couple of dot balls, put the pressure on. Otherwise, this game is done and dusted. And our viewers at home, they came for a very tight game. They currently can't get a catch there.
And he's hauled out.
Well, another full toss has done the job for the Hong Kong Cricket Club. That's 2 wickets from full tosses. Rory Cox bows his head. He's unsure how he's done that.
Well, that was a gift there. A rank full toss really should have been smashed over the practice facilities over there, and he's just not quite got a hold of it. And he's straight down his throat.
And is that a twist in the tail for this game?
Look, it could be.
We wouldn't have odds, but there'd be pretty long odds here at the Hong Kong Cricket Club. It wasn't the right arm off spinner, it was the left arm orthodox. It was still a spinner, and I think he's almost unstoppable against the pace. But I think if you're going to get Rory Cox out, you've got to bowl spin at him. I think you need to bowl spin at him is my
and that will bring Simandeep Singh out to the crease for KCC, batting at number 4 today.
Very classy batsman.
Beautiful to watch. Similar mould to Rory Cox, obviously a right-handed version. Does take a little bit of time to get going. Likes to have a look at the first 4 or 5 balls. But batted beautifully here a couple of weeks ago against Pakistan Association, making 65 in that match and guiding KCC to qualify for this T20 final we're playing today.
Yes, he'll be disappointed with that. Cox, he did all the hard work, deserved a 50 in my mind, and just missed out there. Full toss, rank full toss.
Yeah, so they needed that wicket. They've got to grab another one here. I think they need to. They're going to maybe trying to give. Simandeep here. They don't want to be giving him a single. They've got to bowl a couple of dot balls, then maybe push a guy back, give him a single, keep Jamie off strike here as Elliot Scrivener comes in from the bowl's end. Good enough there. Well played to the leg side here.
Might be a couple there.
No, there'll be a run out if there is. He's a wonderful fielder, Luke Jones.
Very good
taken
fielding
well
there
by
Luke
Rory
Jones.
Kane. We haven't seen a lot of Rory Kane today. He's just going about his job behind the sticks. Beautiful pair of hands. Captain of the Scorpions. Didn't get a bat today, unfortunately, for his fans in Hong Kong and around the world, as Elliot Scrivener will be coming in to rowdy Jamie Atkinson. Well bowled. Kinshit Shah comes across. That overthrows before really did hurt Hong Kong Cricket Club.
That was a bit of a momentum shift
Just
there.
released the pressure, didn't
It
it?
released the pressure. He fields very well, but sometimes I think you've just got to hold on to the ball when you instead of showing it in. Well bowled, coming through. Chance of a run out here. No, Martin Kurtzia wearing a little bit of Movember there with a little moustache.
Great to see. Great to see the support of the Movember charity.
Can you tell
David.
us a bit more about Movember, Matthew?
Yeah, so it raises funds for men's mental health awareness on the men's side. So we have about 4 or 5 players here at the club who raise money and donate money to that very worthy cause.
Is it also for prostate cancer research?
Yeah,
as well?
correct. So yep, apologies, it is. Yeah. General men's health, we'll call it. So fantastic to for the guys here to do that, and I'm sure there's a few at the Hong Kong Cricket Club as well.
Absolutely.
So that's an end to the 15th over now, is it? 14th over. So that's 14 overs gone. The score is 2 for 115. 32 runs required for victory off 6 overs. So still well in hand here for KCC, but that wicket just opening the door a little bit for the Hong Kong Cricket Club.
And they're going to Luke Jones on the short end. That's what the crowd comes here to see. This game could be over in this over, or the game could swing wildly, or it could do pretty well nothing. It could be, we could have 6 or 7 off the over and just come through. Well, I'm delighted to say I've been calling Trent Johnson for Luke Jones. He's got to throw it up. He bowled a little bit short last week. He's got to throw it up here and say to Simandeep Singh, if you're good enough, bang me straight. If you're not, I'm going to pick you up here. Come on, Luke Jones, do it for your family and friends around the world. Too short.
And that's short and wide and called wide by umpire John Prakash. So score comparison after 14 overs, HKCC were 4 for 86. And as we can see there, KCC were 2 for 115. So fairly large gap, but we know how well HKCC finished. And he's gone big, and that's going to be 6.
Is it underneath it?
That's going to be 6. It's only a short boundary. And Luke Jones holds his hands up and asks why he didn't have a crack at that one.
Was that over his head?
Yeah, well over his head.
I think it was well over his head from my vantage
Now,
point
Matt Collins,
here.
when you were about 16, I heard you had a wonderful vertical leap.
Ah,
Very LeBron James or Michael Jordan.
No chance of getting that one. No, I don't think Joel Garner would have been able to get up for that one. It was well over his head.
Throw another one up here. That's it. There's a chance.
And he's out. And he's out. He's bought a wicket. And he's bought a wicket here. The decision to bring Luke Jones on has paid dividends for the Hong Kong Cricket Club. They've gambled. He's been hit for a 6, and very next ball, Simandeep Singh's tried to do the exact same thing and could only succeed in holding out to long off.
But you could say Simandeep did the job. 6 off 2 balls. It's still it's not what Hong Kong Cricket Club need in terms of the runs and of balls, but it was a key wicket. Ryan Buckley got a very safe pair of hands. He did drop Azaz Khan in the preliminary game, if you remember correctly, off Luke Jones, where it was a flat shot out to deep mid off, but that was a much easier one. He took it nicely. He threw it up Luke Jones. Ryan Buckley took it. So who's going to come in now for the Kowloon Cricket Club match?
So this is going to be coach Wikas Barkat. So Wikas is a middle order, very aggressive middle order batsman. He will not die wondering, plays a very similar sort of brand. Has been a little bit short on runs, but also that's a little bit down to opportunity with the top 4 doing a majority of the work for KCC throughout the rounds. But very capable batsman, great leg spinning and great leg spinning option and great leg spinning bowler and a great fielder, I should say.
He bowled the last over today, didn't he?
Yeah, we don't often see that. We actually called it on our commentary, David, earlier, that you don't often see a spinner bowl the final over of a T20 match.
You've got to be a very talented and very a spinner who has a lot of control, Matthew.
Well, we did reference Roger Harper in 1995 to Michael Bevan in the
absolutely on New
Year's Day.
New Year's Day 1996.
That's
hit him straight down the ground at the SCG to win the game. Absolutely brilliant, Michael Bevan. He was a good limited overs cricketer, wasn't he, Matthew?
Well, he knew how to time a chase, did old Bevo, didn't he?
Not as good in the Test arena against the short pitch bowling.
That was always
got found out a little bit.
Got found out by the West Indians, especially, but not the only player.
I think he did make a lot of first-class runs, though.
Plenty of first-class runs, but I think he might have even taken 10 wickets in a game, going left arm over the wrist.
Right. And that's sliced away to deep point for a single to get Wackas Barkart underway, and here we go. We might have some more overthrows, but Wackas Barkart wasn't watching.
A huge difference between the fielding at Hong Kong Cricket Club and
a bit of a poor throw there from the boundary by Charlie Wallace, right at the knees of.
If I may say so, the running between the wickets has been far in Kowloon Cricket Club's favour, and the fielding as well.
Yeah.
They were impervious.
It's those 1%ers, as I believe Trent Johnston mentioned in the preview, that sometimes win you these matches.
Well, I would say it's at least 15 runs so far. The running between the wickets and the fielding, which is a big difference here. Throws it up. Ooh.
And that one's sliced away. They're going to scamper through for an easy single.
Well
Jamie
bowled
Atkinson, yeah, very well bowled. Luke Jones doing the job, sort of questioning why he wasn't brought on potentially just a few overs ago when Nazarka Khan bowled that over. He could have maybe come in then and had a bit of an impact on this game earlier.
Absolutely.
He bowls again here to Wackas Barkart, who tries to go big, and they brought in a slip as well, which I think is fantastic captaincy by Elliot Scribner.
Absolutely.
Need to attack at this point with the ball spinning away from the right-handed batsman.
To think that they held him back to this stage and bring him on in the short end, I thought they might have been protecting him, but interesting.
Well, I think they're gambling. I think he needs to try and generate wickets from somewhere. We saw nothing happening earlier on, so it's worked so far. And this one's hit towards cover.
Great fielding by the captain, Elliot Scribner.
Yeah, fantastic bit of fielding there by Scribner to bring an end to the 15th over. The score is 3 for 124.
So 5 overs, 30 balls, 23 needed, 7 wickets in hand. It would be almost impossible to lose it from here.
Funnier things have happened, Vales. You never know.
Can you remember? Was there a game? Any games that had come in international cricket, something like this?
I've got one for you, David. I believe it just came up on my feed actually not long ago. I think a couple of years ago, 2018, Pakistan playing against New Zealand in a Test match, might have lost 8 for 20, needing 40 to win. That would have been in New Zealand, I believe. So a great victory by New Zealand to defend 40 runs basically. And Jamie's cutting there to point for no run. So yeah, it's all starting to tighten up a little bit, and there's a bit of cheering coming from the spectators over at the Hong Kong
They haven't
Cricket
had much
Club.
to cheer about today, apart from a couple of good whacks from Nizakat Khan. Jamie Atkinson here, will he try and make his mark here?
And that's 6 over cover. What a shot by Jamie Atkinson.
Called by Trent Johnston. He loves that shot over cover.
He is one of the best exponents of the inside out over cover shot, and that was no exception. Got himself inside the line of the ball and just deposited it straight over the AstroTurf wickets towards the west side.
Very good from the lads there. A little bit of LEG crossed with Snoop Dogg. That's Matty Collins and Matt Stiller, your Australian commentators from Kowloon Cricket Club. Lost a ball over there. There's some kids hitting. There's guys warming up in the nets. They've lost interest in the game. They must think the game's over.
It's fantastic to see the kids out there today playing in the protection of the nets as well, so no risk of injury.
Real carnival atmosphere at the club today. Fantastic to see so many people down. As Vales alluded to earlier, we've got the VIPs up there on top of the swimming pool pavilion, and plenty of the HKCC boys here as well, and lots of KCC members down. So it's all happening here at the KCC, Matty.
Yeah, and they found the ball, which is always good. They're expensive, those balls. So
about 500 a pop now, mate.
Yeah, we don't want to lose too many of those.
Absolutely nice.
The bean counters are very happy when we don't lose
Do you
them.
remember we did the T20 Blitz and we did the flying kookaburra on how many balls we'd lose in the show during the T20 Blitz?
How many did you lose in the end?
44, I think it was.
44?
In 5 days, yeah.
Some kid who picked those up made an absolute fortune.
Well, there's a building out the back actually, and you can't get into the building, and that's where they all went. So someone in there's obviously had a field day going for a swim. So anyway, back to the game. Elliot Scribner. And that one's short, and it is cut to deep point for a single. So down to 16 runs required here from KCC.
I'm not sure what Hong Kong Cricket Club can do here. There's a lot of wickets in hand. They need not many runs. There's plenty of balls. It would take a minor miracle for Hong Kong Cricket Club to get up from here. Do they bring someone in? Do they put the pressure on?
I think they've got to bring a few fielders up here, Vales. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Just try and put some pressure on. Try and buy a wicket.
He's got an easy single on the leg side if he goes that way.
He's tried to. So he's tried to go straight there, and he's got an inside edge towards Luke Jones there on the boundary. He's fielded fantastically.
We see a couple of the Cricket Hong Kong's finest in Ravi there. Natesh has done a terrific job today. It's great to see the lads under the tutelage of Tony Malloy. We send a big cheerio to Tony Malloy, who hasn't been feeling 100% well. We hope he's doing well and he's back 100% soon, and he's done a wonderful job as Tony Malloy at Cricket Hong Kong. We send him all the best, and he's feeling 100% there. He's done a great job. Mark Farmer doing a great job. Nitesh, Ravi. It's just wonderful what's going on in Cricket Hong Kong. The national team, women's cricket, the junior development, it's in great hands. Been some great developments and pushing forward over the last couple of years. So well done to Tony and his team.
Indeed.
Absolutely. Yep, reiterated on behalf of the Kowloon Cricket Club. I think Ravi Nagdev, Nitesh Hemlani and all the crew there at Cricket Hong Kong have really done an outstanding job to promote this Premier League T20 competition, unlike it's ever been done before. So full credit to them, and what a tournament it's been this year.
Absolutely. And KCC, they deserve to be favourites, no question on that. They beat Hong Kong Cricket Club. They won the right to host the game at their home ground. They're undefeated in this league. Hong Kong Cricket Club are a very good side, but perhaps rely a little bit too much on their superstars. And they've been taught a very good lesson about Kowloon Cricket Club today. There's no question about that.
And that's hit 6. That's going to hit us here. That's on our commentary box. That's Wackas Barkat. He got one in the slot from Luke Jones, and he's dispatched it sort of off the back foot over long off for a 6 runs.
I've got no issue with where Luke Jones is bowling there. He's throwing it up. He said if he hit it, he's trying to take a wicket here. He's bowling to the short end. That's okay. Wackas Barkat, I've got a feeling he might pick him up here if he throws one up here.
And he's gone again. This might be caught on the boundary.
Oh.
And it's caught by Charlie Wallace. Another 6 and out. That's kids cricket.
Another Nostradamus call here from the from the man from East Malvern in Australia.
That's right. David Varley bringing it to you live from Cox's Road.
Right, Luke Jones. The question is, why wasn't he brought on earlier? Perhaps he'll go for runs, but he'll grab you a wicket. And there's nothing better than seeing a good leg spinner bowling here in Hong Kong cricket or anywhere in the world, Matt.
No, that's right. Look, 2 instances there of getting hit for 6 and then the next ball being caught on the boundary. So look, from the KCC perspective, probably not the smartest batting there from Wackas, but that's how he plays.
Absolutely.
He's going to go down and he wants to get it done quickly. Still have wickets in the bank, so probably confident that his side can knock off these remaining 9 runs.
Who's coming in
I'd say it'd be Chris Carter.
As pilot Chris Carter. Chris Petticoat Lane Carter, we've been calling him.
Am I correct that Arhan played today and didn't bowl?
That is correct. Nor last week.
Or the week before. Arhan hasn't bowled for 3 games now, yeah. So bowling to the right-handed batsman, sometimes they're a bit concerned with him bowling to the right-handed batsman, prefer him against the left-handers.
So, and what the left-handers, he didn't get, with Nizakat batting through, held him back.
Basically, and Ninad Shah obviously not getting picked today, meant one extra right-hander because of Nizakat, right, I guess.
Yeah,
so
that's an interesting, look, for the young lad.
I think it's a credit to Jamie Atkinson's captaincy to identify who's going to be your strongest bowlers to which batsman, right?
Absolutely.
Same as you with your butterfly effect call.
Absolutely. Now he's still got the towel in the back of his pants there.
It's very controversial.
Well, he's covering. So we discussed it last week. He's covering the left cheek at this point. He was right cheek last week. So
it's alternate cheek.
His alternate cheek, just moving it around.
Yeah, just in case. Yeah, just.
Oh.
I really don't think
it's just not necessary.
That's needed here.
No, that's what the crowd wants. Though they want a swing and a big hit, a top edge, a 6.
Just knock it around and get the runs.
It's been a beautiful run chase. They've measured themselves beautifully here, the Kowloon Cricket Club, as Luke Jones comes in. Oh, well fielded. The big fella, the teacher. He got down there well, Elliot Scrivener. He's captained beautifully here. I don't think his batsman probably got him enough runs here, unfortunately. And KCC been a bit too good. And they've played the fast guys from Hong Kong Cricket Club a bit too well as Luke Jones comes in, throws it up, and he drives it down the ground for 1.
And that's Chris Carter off the mark and brings an end to the 17th over. The score has moved on to 139 for 4. We haven't had a chance today because there hasn't been any other Premier League games going on, but it would be remiss of us, Matt, to not go around the grounds. Right on the tip of my tongue. And we can actually go to a bit of a game that happened here at the KCC earlier. KCC Maidens taking on the Craig and Gower Cricket Club, CCC Fung Wong. Had a tremendous victory, making 156 for no wicket, David.
Wow.
Of 20 overs. Keanu Gill, the star, 92 not out of 76.
Don Bradman of ladies cricket.
Oh, she's unbelievable. She gets runs every week. And Tina's Carbaria coming in with 37 on 53. But in reply, CCC didn't give up the ghost, making 133 for 8. It was Carrie Chan, Hong Kong captain, who made 67 from 49 balls. A fantastic game of women's cricket earlier on here at the KCC, David.
Absolutely. It's great. Some terrific cricket going on. Now that song right on the tip of my tongue, was that Johnny Diesel who sang that song?
That's right. We actually referenced this. So when they used to do the AFL around the grounds during the news, between about 6:20 for the sports of the news in Australia, they used to show you the scores and sing that song.
Fantastic.
So.
A lot of the Hong Kong Cricket Club tuned in to hear you two gentlemen in the last couple of weeks as with your dulcet tones and your beautiful singing. And Elliot Scrivener comes in. Oh, as he tucks it down to one. Should the fielders be up? There's really not enough runs to defend, is there?
It's
three and over.
It's that balance, David, isn't it? You know, if you leave them up and you get knocked over your head for 4, the game's over. So it's a very tough situation now for the captain. Eventually, I'm sure he will have to bring up at least 1 or 2 of them, but at this point, hoping potentially he can buy a wicket, maybe some pressure on.
He's too experienced for mine though, Matt. Jamie Atkinson, too experienced. As he comes in, Elliot Scrivener, got to grab one here. Oh, nice hands from Rory
Push through
Keynes.
a little quicker there from Scrivener.
Absolutely. Slip in Ryan Buckley, lovely pair of hands. Martin Coetzee at just behind point there. Haroon just in front at a kind of a deep cover point. Jack Meadows at cover. In comes Elliot Scrivener. Well bowled.
That is very well bowled there by Scrivener, firing him in towards the stumps. Jamie looking to go towards cover, which is his want.
It's been the pacemen haven't done it for Hong Kong Cricket Club. There's no question on that. The spinners have done a pretty good job, and Elliot Scrivener trying to really create a miracle here. Jamie Atkinson going, I might finish this with a 6 quite quickly if he's pitched one up to me. Throw it.
And he's
dropped
him.
it.
He's dropped him.
Oh
Wow.
Oh, he's going to come back.
And he's
for
going to
2.
come back
It's
for
even
2.
worse.
Might have a run out here, but
Oh.
Jamie makes it back. Now that might be the game now.
Oh, and that's the Jack Meadows.
And that's Jack Meadows there at
The,
cover. Hit directly at him, very firmly I might add, but straight at him.
Certainly should have been taken, Matty.
You take that. That makes it 5 down, 7 to win. Anything can happen from there. You know, this level you don't get many chances. Kowloon Cricket Club took every chance. Will Jamie finish it with a big 6 here?
He tried to, but he got squirted into the leg side. They're going to push
for
hard
2,
for 2.
and they'll get it.
No, Chris Carter wanted
Chance
to
to
come
run
back,
up.
but Jamie wasn't.
I think there might have been a couple there, but
Jamie, he moved as quickly as he does in Lung Kwai Fong, just skirting around there. And when he saw something he liked, and he didn't like that when he got back into his crease.
And that's a end to the 18th over. 2 overs remaining here. Just the 4 runs required in hand for KCC, but stranger things have happened, Matty.
look, you never know, mate. Just bring the field up and hope they can put a bit of pressure on and maybe get a wicket or 2. You never know.
Yeah, it was a good over there by Elliot Scrivener, bringing himself on at the important time there to try and get the breakthrough. And look, to his credit, forced the opportunity. Unfortunately, Jack Meadows fielding there at cover couldn't quite grasp it, and with that, potentially the chances of the Hong Kong Cricket Club today in this fixture.
Absolutely. Jamie, he's going to be facing a leg spinner who's going to be throwing it up and turning it. He will be trying to put this not into Coxrow, but he's going over cover, you think?
He's going towards the PLA, yeah.
Yeah. Does he play leg spin well, do you think?
Yeah, he hits well over cover, so if he gets one in his arc there, that's where he'll go. Oh no,
be
he
out.
might be caught again. Oh no, it's just bounced short from Ryan Buckley. Just short of him there. A nice stop though to stop the boundary and keep the game going.
Thought it was coming all the way, do you think?
Yeah, it may have reacted a little bit late, but
Playing with a very, very sore back. He did well to get down to it. Chris
Yeah,
Carter,
very stop.
I give Luke Jones a chance to pick up Chris Carter here. Just really with a big windy whoosh, I reckon. Oh, he's got him.
and he's been given.
Oh, that might have been the slider.
And that was the slider. That was the Zuta, whatever you call it.
Nostradamus over here.
Yeah, absolutely. That's 3 in a row. Matthew, I picked
Where
here.
was Luke Jones earlier, David? That's what I want to know.
Well, he's been picking wickets up at ease. He's got a heap of wickets. Will Chris Carter be wiping the hands off on the towel as he walks off? He has not used that at all. I do question why he's got the towel in his back pocket. Who's coming in now? Is this the big
Dan Pascoe.
No, and it doesn't look like that.
Is
It
that
looks
not Dan
like
Pascoe?
Ash Caddy, Jay.
Actually, it might be Ashley Caddy. Sorry, guys. Viewers. We are just trying to figure out who's coming out to bat here.
It looks like Jay to mine.
Do you know who it is?
Scoreboard not updated yet with the new batsman.
Well, it was an Ash Caddy who hasn't done much today. Only bowled 1 over, didn't he?
Yes.
No, that is Jay Davidson.
Big, the Namibian
The
nightmare.
That is the
Namibian
Namibian
nightmare.
That is the Namibian nightmare.
I did have questions whether he was in your best 11 at the start of the Premier League season.
That's been noted by him, David.
Yes, and he's a lovely lad, and he has, to get out Martin Coetzee twice, he has delivered in spades for his beloved Kowloon Cricket Club. There's no questions on that. He's been terrific. Now, can you imagine if Jack Meadows had taken that catch? Could have had them both out, 7 to win it. It would have been crazy scenes here.
Unbelievable. And is Jay going to be the one to hit the winning runs for KCC, or will Luke Jones take his 4th wicket?
Well, it would be fitting for Jay to hit it, because he has been probably the difference getting those key wickets. Oh, went for a windy whoosh. Will we see the final over? Will we see the final over?
Well, funny things happen in the final over, David.
Now, in a Nomads game about 8 years ago, they needed 2 to win off the last over. They got 3 to win off the last over. They got a single off the first ball. So they needed 2 off the last 5 balls. They couldn't get bat on ball. Oh, couldn't get bat on ball, and Nomads lost.
Okay, now things are starting to get really tight here at the KCC.
Oh, and to throw Jay Davidson in front of Dan
Pascoe. I mean,
Ash
it's
Caddy.
an interesting call by skipper Jamie Atkinson, who is batting. So potentially that call might have been made from vice captain.
Was it an arrogant call? Did you think the game was done? Maybe just give Jay a bat, let him hit the winning runs.
Let's hope not, David.
You've got to back David Davidson here. Oh, well bowled.
That's another dot ball. It's getting very tight now here at the KCC.
Oh, it's all going on. We might see the last over. Ryan Buckley wearing number 4 here. Si in Chinese, as they say, not si as in death, but you've got to be careful the way you pronounce those Chinese words, Matthew.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, here we go. Luke Jones into Jay Davidson.
Ball here, they say. Oh no!
And that's a big play. He's pulled it away. He's in the gap. And Martin Coetzee fields
beautifully, leaving Jay Davidson on strike. We have got a game here, ladies and gentlemen. 2 to win, 1 over to go, 6 balls. Anything's possible.
So we didn't think this was going to happen 3 or 4 overs ago, David, but Luke Jones has come in and done a fantastic job.
It's just behind us, and anything's possible. Who's the gentleman on our left with the green shirt? He's played for KCC for a while.
Dylan Deering, that is.
Dylan Deering.
Very good cricketer, our Dylan.
Yeah, absolutely. Who's going to bowl the last over here? Are they looking at Elliot Scrivener? Do they go to a fast bowler? Do they try and bowl a bunch of dot balls? They try and run
Elliot's
through.
bowled out.
Kinchit has 1 over left.
Kinchit's got one. I'd go with Kinchit personally. Matt, you?
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably go back to either Kinchit. I assume the fast bowlers.
It looks
are
like
bowled out.
Elliot Scrivener's. He's going. Oh, lads, I'm the captain here.
He's bowled out.
He's bowled out, so he's not bowling it. They're going to a deal. They're going to. It's Haroon. Well, he is. I can't see if we can see Trent Johnson. Is he the Trent? Is he the designated death bowler for the Hong Kong national side? So if anyone's going to do a job. But I do believe he bowled 2 wides to lose the game last time, Kowloon Cricket.
I think it was. You're right. Yeah.
Where he bowled, they needed 2 to win off the last over. And he bowled 2 wides.
Well, let's hope that's not a repeat today. Exactly. Yeah, we want to see winning runs off the bat or wickets for HKC to win an unlikely game.
And just a shout out to Eilish and Simon, Rory Keynes' parents. Let me tell you, Rory Keynes is in the game here. If it's a dot ball goes to the keeper, Jamie Atkinson might be scampering through, trying to grab a single. As we look around the field with Rory Keynes keeping, Adil Mahmood at short fine leg, Charlie Wallace just going down to fine leg, Adil Mahmood down there to third man. Martin Coetzee, he's a very experienced player. He'd be just giving a little bit of advice to Elliot Scrivener. You've got to get your fielders in your most dangerous positions, don't you?
Okay.
Your best fielders here.
Here we go. It's going to be Haroon Arshad bowling to Jay Davidson. 1 run required to tie, 2 runs required to win.
Could we have a super over? Is there a super over here in 2020?
There's super overs if it's required, absolutely. We can see up on the VIP swimming pool pavilion, packed across the front there. I look to my right on the AstroTurf wickets, packed as well. Fantastic crowd in today who have witnessed a final over thriller.
Well, I've just had a message through saying keep up the wicket predictions coming. Unbelievable strike rate from that's from AJ. I'm not feeling as confident here. I'd be guessing if I.
Well, look, a wicket first ball, a bold first ball could put the cat amongst the pigeons.
I must admit, I'm not feeling it. I'm feeling a swing and a miss outside off stump dot ball. That's what I'm feeling. And Jamie Atkinson maybe looking to pinch a single. We've got Charlie Wallace, Charlie Wallace, who bowled well today. He's coming back from a very serious shoulder injury. Showed a lot of courage to play today. He's down here at fine leg. He could have a big job to do. Gives us a little wave to the commentary box. There's Haroon coming in. Huge job to Jay Davidson and the Namibian Nightmare.
And
It's
that's
a dot ball.
and I didn't know how to call that. It was a full toss, which has been a very dangerous ball today. It was hit one bounce to mid-off Ryan Buckley, who ran in very quickly and picked it up and prevented them from getting a run. So we are now 2 from 5.
2 from 5.
KCC making a real meal of this.
You'd love a Super Over. Even KCC would love a Super Over. What do you think, Matt? Or you
Absolutely
take the
not,
victory?
Dave.
Absolutely. This is like the 2005 grand final between Sydney and West Coast. Could there be a little bit of Leo Barry, you star, Jay Davidson in the movie Nightmare, you star, Haroon, he's got to come in and hit the stump. He's got to bowl full here. Oh God, it looks very short to the offside for 4 here. Jay Davidson, no Ashley Caddy, no Dan Pascoe. Very interesting call by Jamie
So here we
Atkinson.
go.
Jamie Atkinson will be steaming through from the other end, you would think.
And that's it, bound firmly to mid-wicket for 1. And now the scores are tied. The scores are tied here at the Hong Kong Cricket Club. I think if he was up, it may have gone directly to him, but you just never know.
Or it could have been 4. You can't see 4 dot balls here, can you?
Something's going to happen, David. A wicket and a new batsman on strike.
I think the fielders are going to come in very close here. Jamie Atkinson, he doesn't speak to the opposition. I don't think he said anything to Jay Davidson. Maybe just giving him a nod. Just come through here. I'm hitting.
A skipper's knocked here by Jamie Atkinson. Now moved on to 27. He's really guided the ship that looked like it was sinking. We heard Titanic was the favourite film of someone earlier in the day, and this run chase has gone a bit that way.
Pursuit of Happiness for Haroon. I was quite impressed with that choice. Have you, Matt? Have you got a favourite film?
Yeah, Old School.
Old School. Matt Collins.
The Common Godfather man, Vales.
I'm a Braveheart man.
Okay.
We've had my wife walked into Braveheart.
As Haroon comes in. And that's it.
Oh, run out!
It's been a misfield, and KCC have won. KCC have won. They've saluted in the CHK T20 Premier League, but not without some late drama here at Cox's Road. A full toss outside of stump, which Jamie Atkinson sliced very hard to Point, who saved it from going for 4, but the batsman scampered through to win it for KCC. A fantastic game of cricket here, all in all. Hong Kong Cricket Club were dead and buried. Luke Jones coming in, taking 3 crucial wickets, made a game out of it really, and we went into the final over to see KCC salute by 5 wickets. David, your thoughts on the day?
Oh, it's been a wonderful game of cricket. Wonderful for Hong Kong Cricket Club and Kowloon Cricket Club. Wonderful for Cricket Hong Kong. Wonderful for cricket internationally to see such a high standard contest. A well-deserved winners for Kowloon Cricket Club. They went through the tournament undefeated, captained brilliantly by Jamie Atkinson. He was there at the end getting a beautiful 27 not out. He used his bowlers beautifully. He encouraged he got the best out of his fast bowlers. Jay Davidson had a wonderful tournament. Kowloon Cricket Club bowled beautifully. They fielded absolutely superbly, and they ran really well between the wickets. And I think that was probably the difference. You know, it was probably an extra 15, 20 runs. The running between the wickets, the fielding. The Hong Kong Cricket Club just couldn't stop the singles. Dropped a key catch. But really, Kowloon Cricket Club were on top for most of the game. Barely Hong Kong Cricket Club drew even at all. And it's been a wonderful tournament, a wonderful day, and a very, very deserved winner, Matt Collins.
Yeah, look, well said, Vales. A great celebration of Hong Kong cricket today. KCC thoroughly deserved the win. I thought they were in control for the vast majority of the game. I think really at the end of the day, Rory Cox's partnership with Azaz Khan to kick things off, I think it was an 81 run partnership, really kind of sealed the deal. Jamie came in and batted beautifully, but look, as we've seen throughout the entire tournament with the KCC, it's a very, very even team, and they require sort of important performances from lots of different areas, and today was no different. I thought it was a very even performance.
Absolutely. So that wraps up the coverage here today. A very on behalf of KCC, a very big thank you to Hong Kong Cricket Club for coming across and participating in this final. It's been a great tournament, as you guys have both just said. KCC saluting today by 5 wickets, but not without some drama at the end, which is what everyone came here to watch. Fantastic to see the crowd stream in, the kids playing cricket, and in these uncertain times, to see people here watching and cricket being played, it's fantastic. We are going to take a 5-minute break at the moment and come back for the prize giving ceremony. So for those on the stream and around the world, on behalf of myself, Matt Stiller, My co-commentators, Mr. Matthew Collins and Mr. David Varley, thank you very much, gentlemen.
Been a lot of fun, Matty. A lot of fun. Thanks for having us.
Terrific. Signing off. Thank you, Kowloon Cricket Club. Well done, Kowloon Cricket Club, and well done, Cricket Hong Kong.
Thanks all.
So if you've been watching, thank you for following and enjoying the final of the Premier League T20. We'll go quickly over the batting and bowling stats for the second innings. The run chase for KCC built around Rory Cox and Azaz Khan's 80-run opening partnership. Rory Cox out for 46, Azaz out 43, both hitting full tosses to men in the deep, both denied good 50s, but then Jamie Atkinson, the experienced captain, finishing off the chase with 28-21, including the winning runs. Bit of panic in the chase there for a moment as Luke Jones took 3 wickets in 3 overs to make the game a little bit closer and tighter, but after the start they got, KCC were always the favourites to finish off this chase. So a very good performance by their batting lineup. A quick look at the bowling stats for HKCC. Luke Jones, of course, outstanding with 3 for 18. Elliot Scrivener bowled his 4 overs for just 23 runs and a wicket. Harun Rashad took a wicket there towards the end, got 1 for 27. And there was 3 overs from Kinshit Shah for just 16 runs. The seamers, Adil Mahmood, Charlie Wallace, both a bit expensive, going at 10 and 11 per over. And Zakat Khan marking a return to the bowling crease in club cricket with 1 over for 8 runs. We will now have a trophy ceremony. We will present the trophy to the champions, have some important people say some important words. Please stay tuned. That should happen in a couple of minutes. And before we get to that, let's also just look over the tournament stats now. Batting leaderboard, Martin Kotzir. Not a big score today, but by and far the highest run scorer of this tournament with 294 runs in his 5 innings. Of course, benefited by being able to play in a final. Baba Hayat, 4 innings in the group stage with 186 runs, is second on that list. And Kinshit Shah, also of the Hong Kong Cricket Club, third on that list with 175 runs in his 5 innings with 250s. Azaz Khan, successful in the run chase today, 81 not against HKCC last time around, and a 43 today, takes him to 4th on that list. And Ehsan Khan of Lil Saiwan, 5th. In the run scoring charts, Rory Cox also features there, as do Simandeep Singh, Jamie Atkinson, Umar Mohammed, and Waqas Khan. You look at the bowling leaderboard, and you've got Daniel Pascoe with 10 wickets in his 5 matches, extremely economical as well. Jason Davidson, also of KCC, with 9 wickets from his 5 games, very dangerous in the power play overs. Ali Mohammed of USRC, 9 wickets in his 4 group stage games, best bowler for USRC and the best bowler not to be playing in this final. We've got Luke Jones high up on the wicket taking list with 9 wickets as well, including 3 today. Also on the list are Anas Khan, Yasim Mustaza, Kinshit Shah, Azaz, Ehsan Khan, and Ahan Trivedi. So a lot of spinners on that list, a lot of all-rounders. A lot of good performances from this tournament. We are just getting set up now for the trophy ceremony. The trophies on the table. Captain Elias Scrivener shaking hands with our cricket operations manager and our high performance manager, and several other VIPs standing around. Do stay tuned for all the ceremony to end the Premier League T20. Well, I've got you here, James Chan. Any thoughts about the tournament so far?
Yeah, that was a very, very good finale. I think at one point we all thought that KCC would make it a very routine victory, but Luke Jones provided the drama and the excitement at the very end, and credit goes to him. I think a lot of questions asked why he didn't bowl slightly earlier, but I think he made a great recovery, and HKCC, fought till the very end, and well played to both teams. And at the end of the day, KCC started well, and they continued to keep their position and keep going forward. And at the end, I think the result was correct, and KCC did fantastically. Ladies and gentlemen, whilst we wait for the prize ceremony, we're just going to let you see everything around the ground. We're just watching as both sets of players are lining up, and the CHK staff are quickly getting things together. Thank you very much for tuning in, and just hold on for a while. We'll be back live with the presentations, and we'll see you in a second.
It'll be turned on. All right, welcome along to the presentation ceremony for the CHK Premier League final, sponsored by Green Inc. And what a great final it was too. Thank you to both the HKCC team and the KCC sides. The Premier League competition has been a great showcase of Hong Kong's best domestic cricket, with 11 games played, 7 of them live streamed around the world. And without a doubt it ended in a final between the two best teams. Before I go into the presentation, I'd like to make a few thank yous for everybody that's made this happen. Thank you today to the CHK board and distinguished guests, the commentators that have given up their time to help us with the broadcast have done a fantastic job. A big thank you to the match officials, ground staff at all the venues, Mission Road,
and HKCC as well, who have done a fine job hosting a number of games. A big thank you to the CHK staff who have worked tirelessly to put on these events. And finally, a big thank you to KCC for doing a fine job on hosting the event today. And also a massive thank you to the crowd that turned up today, all the supporters here for both sides. The atmosphere you created was phenomenal, so thank you very much for your support. And finally, once again, thank you to the two teams for a fantastic final. There can only be one winner though, so I would like to ask the KCC President, KC Shing, to come up and present the trophy to the winning captain, Jamie Atkinson. Thanks once again and congratulations to KCC.